Now send me the link on WhatsApp or something. Or just put it on the main group so that Abhilash can share it across. Okay, so now we have the thing running. So just share that link to me on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, put it in the other group.
Yeah, can I put it in main official group?
Let Abhilash do that. So just put it in
Okay,
the
sure.
XCOM group.
XCOM group. Yeah.
Where is my?
Thank you, Tarun.
Hello, good evening. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Naveen. The man behind the whole show, behind the scenes. Naveen, my audio, video, any suggestions, anything need to be done? Audio is clear?
It's perfect. Yeah, yes, sir.
Video lighting should be increased.
So I think you're very away from the screen. It's okay. Yes, it's fine. It's fine.
Tell me, because I would be seen for quite some time towards the end. So
Okay.
is this okay?
Yes. Yes, it is.
I would be having a lectern in front of me.
You would have a?
Lectern.
Okay.
So what would be seen is just up to my bust.
Right, right. Yes, yes, it's fine, sir. It's fine.
It's fine. Legit. I mean, visible voice,
Perfect.
lighting.
Yes, perfect.
Almost, I got a studio set up in my bedroom right now.
Lovely.
Great. Okay. So just give me a few minutes. I'll join once again. Let me have some biryani my wife has made. So after that, I'll be with
Sure,
you for
sir.
the next.
Sure, sure. Quick update. We are going live on YouTube, sir.
Oh, we are good. So
Yeah.
that's wonderful. I mean, looking forward to a wonderful, very memorable 800th milestone meeting.
Yes, sir. Sure.
Okay.
Toastmaster Nagendra Bharti and Venu sir, you can try pinning our timer Ayush onto your screen and you can tell us if you're able to do that.
Yes,
Abhirami,
yes, I'm able to do that. Yeah.
Okay.
regarding pinning of timer, I'm not that tech savvy. I have a stopwatch with me, so I should be able to know the time by myself. Is that okay?
Yes, sir, that's okay. But pinning the timer is quite easy. If you want, we can quickly guide you.
Yeah, please. I have a.
I hope you're logging in through the laptop. So you're able to see Ayush on the screen, timer Ayush. So you.
No, right now I can see you. You are on the right top corner of my mobile, and I can see.
Okay, through the mobile you will not be able to pin. It's only through the laptop you will be able.
No problem. I think since Shrikant sir has a
I have a-
stopwatch,
Fine.
that should be fine.
Yeah, it's fine then.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you, guys.
I think is someone monitoring the waiting room?
Yes, yes, yes. All of us. I think
Okay, fine.
Tarun make Abhirami and Jimmy as co-hosts.
He's done that. Yeah.
How many backups Landa Naveen is coming in? I'm seeing, okay, one done. Okay. I got confused.
Hi, good evening, all of you. Am I audible and visible?
Yes.
Sir. Yes.
Yeah, I already pinned timer. I
Great.
can. Thank you. And everything is okay, so I can manage with this side. Whether I should change my audio? No. This device is perfect.
Good.
Thank you.
The
Thank you.
host can record.
All the best. All the best to all the performers and role players.
Thank you so much.
President Abhilash.
Thank you.
So much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm here. Thanks for the link.
Hello,
Alright.
Kartika.
Yeah. Hi, everyone.
And hello, welcome Toastmaster Lucky. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, we already had that. You were a little bit late.
Okay, great then.
So
Great.
Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Lucky is joining us from Malaysia, District 51.
Oh,
He's a
that's
member of
nice.
4+ clubs.
Very nice. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being here among the natives.
Hello, Reika ma'am. Reika ma'am is on mute.
Sorry, yeah. So hi, Mr. President, and hi to every member and the visitor, and congratulations for the 800th meeting.
Congratulations to you too.
Thank you very much. I think that was
I think all of us can today congratulate ourselves
Jimmy.
and
each other. Yes.
Right.
Don't worry.
Yes, it's a great milestone.
Thank you very much.
Any fireworks?
Whatever
Unfortunately,
best
that's going to
possible.
be virtual.
Yeah, you can do that too.
Yes, yes, there is table topics.
It's a good sign of celebration.
Yes, DTM lucky there is table topics.
Oh, that's fireworks.
Yes.
Okay.
Abhilash and Abhirami, can I suggest one thing? Why can't you stop the live? You can start the live stream when we start the meeting officially. Because you are discussing, we are all discussing. So it's not.
No,
quite
sir.
the-
So this is a closed thing only. Once I share the link only, people will be able to view it on the YouTube. On YouTube, we have not shared the link to anyone else. The link is only with me. So once the meeting starts or close to starting only, we will be sharing the YouTube link as well.
Okay.
Good afternoon, DTM Sita. Welcome.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for having me.
Hello, Abhay.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Hi, Abhilash.
Hi, Abhay. Seeing you after a long time, I would say.
I think this is my first time in this club.
Yes. First time since, what do I say? August when you're coming here. I mean, first time here.
Yes. I saw the notification regarding milestone meetings. So, and I think this club has also invited some international speakers. So I was interested for this.
Great, Abhay. Happy.
Naveen, probably we can just rename the role players so that will help the spotlight.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Is Naveen doing the renaming or we have to do it ourselves?
Yeah, we both can be done. We can rename, and meanwhile Naveen can also catch up where it's pending.
I think Tarun was doing a little bit in the beginning.
Okay.
Leah, or was it Naveen? I'm not sure. So one of them renamed me, so that's how I know.
It's all right. Let's do it now.
Tarun, that's what
Right, I'm doing it.
And let me do a quick check. I'm sharing my screen.
Baptized as TM.
Please, please. Yes, Vishnu.
Is my screen visible?
Awesome. Yes, visible.
Okay. On my audio, video, is it everything clear? Hello, is my audio and video clear?
Yes,
Yes,
clear.
yes,
Okay,
absolutely. We are all tongue tied.
Good evening, DTM Thomas Abraham. I think our keynote speaker is with us now. Welcome, Dr. Ramanan. Welcome.
Oh, fine. Thank
Hello,
you, sir.
hello,
Extremely
sir.
fine. Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine.
Welcome, Ramanan sir.
Oh, thank you, madam. Fine.
So would you like to pin the timer?
Ah,
Yeah, so the timer, you'll find timer Ayush. and you can click on the 3 dots, and in the drop down you will find mute, stop video, chat, and the fourth one will be pin.
1 second. I can't find it.
No, Ayush, you shouldn't be doing it.
Okay.
Ramanan sir, if you could
Tell me, madam.
the panel, you first please select gallery view,
Ah.
and then you will spot timer Ayush.
So I will go to the view.
Yeah.
And
View.
then I will go to gallery. Okay, fine.
Yes. Yeah, Ayush, if you could just say hi over the screen.
Hi to everybody. Fine.
The person who just waved the hands is timer Ayush Vijay. You'll find the name.
Okay.
So you can go to the panel. You at the top, when you just put your cursor over, you will find 3 dots. And that will say mute, stop video, chat, and pin. So you can click on pin.
Okay. The full screen, I know. Where I should go? The left side corner.
Ayush, timer Ayush V. அவங்க போட்டோல பாத்தீங்கன்னா நீங்க வந்து he's waving his hands. Timer Ayush V ஜெயின்னு பேர் எழுதிருக்கும். நீங்க அது மேல கர்சரை கொண்டு போய் வச்சா ask to unmute, I mean அந்த 3 dots கண்ணுல வரும். 3 dots மாதிரி வரும்.
யார் பேர் சொல்றீங்க மேடம்?
Timer Ayush V ஜெயின்.
Okay, yeah, fine.
அதுல 3 dots, அதுல அந்த drop down, and you can pin.
So I will pin it. Okay,
yes, and his face will appear first. So I think it's fine. 3. It's 3 o'clock.
Shall we?
Yeah.
Tarun?
Can you please start the recording?
I will take care. Yes.
Lighthouse don't go running all over an island looking for boats to save. They just stand there shining. We are Chennai Toastmasters, the Lighthouse Club of Tamil Nadu, proudly shining on our 800th meeting and welcoming the glittering gathering from across the globe. Welcome all. Every milestone meet gives us a sense of joy and accomplishment, reminding us how far we have come on this journey. Here is the moment to celebrate all Toastmasters who have paved the way for this historical event. I am Tarun Balakumar and I am the Sergeant at Arms for the evening. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmasters, and esteemed guests. I cordially welcome you all to the 800th milestone meet of Chennai Toastmasters Club. The mission of every Toastmasters Club is to provide supportive and positive learning experience in which the members are empowered to develop their communication and leadership skill, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Before jumping into today's celebratory meet, let me quickly brief you on the ground rules. Please keep your mobile on silent, your audio on mute, but don't forget to switch on your videos and smile so that we can smile at each other. At last, if you want to pass any message, please use the chat box below. Now, let's start the historical meeting. I hand over the meeting to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Abhilash, to share a few words about him. Abhilash is a cool captain keeper of the lighthouse, charting the course of our club through all the highs and lows of the sea. Charting comes easy to this chartered accountant, who is a part of district finance team and division C representative of the mentor pool committee. Now the online stage is yours, presiding officer Toastmaster Abhilash.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sergeant at Arms, for those warm words of introduction. A very warm good evening, dear fellow Toastmasters and guests. It indeed gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to the 800th milestone of Chennai Toastmasters Club. This has truly been a journey of wonders. Started in 2004 and chartered in 2005. It has been a long and enriching journey of 16 years. We have had our highs, we have had our lows, and yet today, as we are on the cusp of this historic milestone, a milestone that is best illustrated by the story of how our club, Chennai Toastmasters, has given birth to the entire district D120 comprising of Tamil Nadu. We should also be grateful for a journey that has been long and enriching. It is indeed a matter of great pleasure that we still have a couple of charter members who started our club way back in 2005 here with us on this August occasion. DTM Nina John and DTM Abraham Zakaria have been wonderful pillars of support for our club over the past 16 years of its legacy. On that happy note, let me also recognize the presence of a few of our dignitaries. We have our area director, Toastmaster Adil Ibrahim, with us today. We have our division director, Toastmaster Nadira Faiz, also gracing us today. We have our area C3 director, DTM Sampath Saurirajan, and our area C4 director, DTM Venu Neelakandan, as well with us today. We are also happy to welcome our program quality director, DTM Aarti Jairaj, who has graced us today. Welcome, ma'am. Recognizing, we would also like to welcome all our guests from across the districts in the world. And with this, let us now jump straight into what promises to be an enthralling and enriching milestone. We have a couple of energetic Toastmasters of the day to take us through the course of today's meeting. They are Toastmaster Abhirami Ayyappan and Toastmaster Jimmy Patros. Toastmaster Abhirami Ayyappan is a senior vice president working at Barclays, and she is the current vice president education of our club. Toastmaster Jimmy is working in a healthcare major, and he has been a past treasurer of the club and a past humorous contest champion of our club as well. With these warm words, let me hand over the virtual stage to our energetic and smiling Toastmasters of the day. Toastmasters of the day, please take us on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhilash, for the warm words. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmasters, and esteemed guests. We are delighted to welcome you all to the 800th milestone meeting of Chennai Toastmasters Club.
And this calls for celebration and gratitude to all the members who've been part of this journey to 800. CTM was founded 17 years ago on 22nd April 2004 and is the first club in Tamil Nadu to charter as a formal club affiliated to Toastmasters International.
Now I understand why CTM is also known as the Lighthouse Club of Tamil Nadu. I'm sure in the last 17 years, every person who joined this club came in here with a purpose of becoming a better speaker or a better leader. The beauty of Toastmastering is that the club always gives us more than we could ever ask for. It gives us the opportunity to identify our true potential on stage and off the stage. And when a Toastmaster realizes this, he becomes a Toastmaster for life.
I completely agree, Toastmaster Abhirami. It's amazing how a Toastmaster Club teaches us to truly enjoy being ourselves. In that way, each Toastmaster Club is special because touching people's life is the best thing someone could ever do. So now let's move on to the meeting agenda. Let's start with the district and division officers addressing the gathering. To start with, we have our area director, Toastmaster Adil Ibrahim. He is the area director of area C1. Toastmaster Adil Ibrahim has set up his own entrepreneurial venture called The Cameraman. A Toastmaster for 4 years, a former president of Chennai Toastmasters Club, and the past district humorous champion. Welcome, Toastmaster Adil, to the virtual dais. Over to you, Toastmaster Adil.
Thank you, MCs. Good evening, each and everyone. So I have started my Toastmaster journey from Chennai Toastmasters Club. So these pictures are proof for those. These are my favorite pictures over here. And I've witnessed there are a lot of members who worked so hard for this club's growth. On the other side, the club has worked so hard for all the members' growth. So I'm one of those members who has got benefited from Chennai Toastmasters Club. And today I would say that I owe all my little accomplishments from Toastmasters International to Chennai Toastmasters Club in this special occasion. I thank each and every one of my mentors and best wishes for XCOM members and CTM members. Looking forward for a great milestone meeting. Thank you for the opportunity. All the best.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Adil. Thank you very much for addressing the gathering.
Next, we will hear from our Division C Director, Toastmaster Nadira Fayez, a dentist by profession, a dancer by passion. She's been a Toastmaster for 4 years, the former president of Chennai Toastmasters Club, and also a former area director of C1. Over to you, Toastmaster Nadira Fayez.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Abhirami. To all the accolades that had just been announced in front of all of you, we have CTM to thank. And just like the area director, Toastmaster Adil said, I started my journey as well 4 years ago in Chennai Toastmasters Club, sitting in this beautiful hall in YWCA. And from first moment till date, I've been mesmerized and completely taken in. If I were to tell exactly one thing about Chennai Toastmasters Club, it would be that the same dialogue that Ralph C. Smedley did say, we learn best in moments of enjoyment. Simple as that, but so much to offer from a simple club. For this, firstly, I'd like to thank the veteran Toastmasters who have helped keep this club for 800 long meetings standing at such a high standard. So, distinguished Toastmaster Nina John and distinguished Toastmaster Abraham Zakaria are two pillars of support that CTM has held on to and will continue to do so. So, let's have a quick round of applause for them. And the second set of people that we have to thank to make CTM's 800 possible should be the XCOM. You guys have done a fabulous job so far and you are keeping up the standard of CTM. So as members of Chennai Toastmasters Club, let's all join hands and take 800 and meet next at our next milestone. Congratulations to everyone present here and hoping to see you all at 850 as well. Back to the Toastmasters Week.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nadira, for addressing the gathering. Now, talking about life. Life has changed way too much after COVID.
Yes, I'm recollecting those good old days when we had physical meetings. The bonding with our fellow Toastmasters, the physical stage, the applause from the audience, and yes, getting the ribbon when we do well.
I'm missing that too. Talking about ribbon awards and recognitions, I completed one of my levels in the last month and received a level completion ribbon award. I felt very happy holding the ribbon in my hand, and I feel truly thankful to the members behind this wonderful idea of dispatching ribbons home.
So I bet you'd love to see those members behind the idea on stage right now.
Oh, really? Definitely. I would love to.
All right, then let's now move on to hear from our district trio. Starting with our District 120 Club Growth Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Gayatri, a project manager at DXC Technologies, been a Toastmaster for last 8 years, and has taken up various leadership positions from club to division level. Over to you, Distinguished Toastmaster Gayatri.
A very good afternoon to one and all present here. It's really happy to see the milestone meeting of CTM because it's the first club in Chennai, and I come from the second club in Chennai, and CTM is like our mother club. So every time CTM celebrates a milestone meeting, I feel very overwhelmed with gratitude because CTM happened, I think the entire Toastmasters Club in Tamil Nadu happened. And I actually attribute a lot of my growth, my transformation, and a lot of changes in my life have happened because of Toastmasters. And if not for CTM, I don't think this would have happened. So it's always difficult to sow that seed and start with those meetings. I've heard about these anecdotes where people used to book a van, they'll all group together and come and visit and do the demo meetings or the speechcraft program for our company. That's how our club started. So it's not easy to do that, isn't it? When people didn't even know what is Toastmasters, it was entirely new, but they all started and it's so nice to see that they are still there, and they say that it's all possible, and we can do it together. So today we do speak about a lot of challenges like COVID, online meetings, and everything. But a moment like this reminds me of those days when Toastmaster itself was a new concept. And forget about Toastmasters, even working on public speaking itself is not something that was very familiar. But then there were these people who trusted in this and then took a leap of faith and worked very hard and got this here. It's very, very nice and very happy to see something like this happening. My best wishes to one and all who were part of this club, not just the one who started it, but also to the ExCom, the member who kind of ensured that this club is in place and keeps doing what it has been doing for so many years. And I think we all owe back to this club for being the very first club and starting the flagship program here in Tamil Nadu. And keep doing what you're doing. We are all very, very happy to see the milestone meeting. My best wishes for the current team and for the future of the club that is going to be taken care by the current members and the future members. Let's keep doing this. It's a beautiful thing. And let's keep making more and more leaders through this beautiful place. Back to you, Toastmaster of today.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Gayatri, for those lovely words and those words of motivation. Next, we will hear from our District 120 Program Quality Director, distinguished Toastmaster Arati Mangalam Jairaj. A leadership trainer, a linguist, a psychometric assessor, she has over 17 years of experience in the learning and development space. She has been a Toastmaster since the last 5 years and has taken up various leadership positions from club to district level. Over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Arati.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of Jimmy and Abhirami. It's always a different feeling when you're at a milestone. Okay, you have your stories, you know what you want to say, you do your research on the club. But the sheer number 800 is so staggering that I really cannot think about what can be said, because you would have experienced it all. You would have shared it all with the fraternity. And we learned from clubs like you who have been in the fraternity for such a long time. It is really a moment to look up at the kind of work that's gone into reaching these 800 milestones. If there is something that I would like to share, I believe in divine interference. And sometimes you get these amazing stories at the opportune moment. And one such story is what I thought I'll quickly share today as a part of my speech. There was this person, he was called for a college reunion. Okay? And he decided to dress up for the college reunion and went ahead and bought a new pair of pants and a shirt. But when he tried the pants on, he realized it were too long and he wanted that to be kind of altered for him. So he asked his daughter, you know what, can you please alter this perfectly? And the daughter says, I'm so sorry. I have to go out for a movie with my friends and I don't have the time. So then he goes to his wife and asks the same question. The wife says, I'm busy preparing food. So I'm extremely sorry, I can't do that. Then he ends up with his mother. And the mother says, oh, I'm too tired. I'm sorry, I can't do it. All three of them refuse to do it. And this man is quite upset. And then he says, it's okay, I'll wear a pant which is a little long. Forgets about it, goes about his work. The day of the event comes. He wears the pant and realizes it is quite short. And when he asked his family, all the three of them, having said no, felt guilty and went back and have altered the pant, making it too short for him. While they all were expecting him to lose his temper, he started laughing like a madman. The family was all the more perplexed. He didn't say anything, but he went to the reunion. And when everyone looked at him and laughed, he joined them in the laughter. And once the laughter died, he said, all of you are looking at my pant being few inches short. But what you're not realizing is I have three people who love me more that they went ahead and did this extra work for me. And that is what I took away from the session. The minute he said that, everyone changed the way they looked at those short pants. Similarly, all I would request this amazing club with so much of knowledge to give, please go ahead and share all your experiences with the fraternity And that will be the best takeaway from everyone. And there might be situations where this takeaway might not reach the fraternity. In that case, I would expect, or rather I would request all of you to show that level of patience because you're seeing a particular club or a set of new people trying to struggle. This is what this club can offer all of us. And if there is one club which can make a change to D120, that is CTM. So I would request you all to continue your support and share your experiences for all of us to flourish. With that, thank you so much, and back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Arati. In fact, time flies as we grow together, motivating each other, and that's the spirit in CTM. So moving on with the agenda, we actually had our district director, Toastmaster Satish Menon's address scheduled. Unfortunately, he's not able to make up to the meeting due to clashing priorities. However, he has sent a hearty congratulations to CTM on his 800. So thank you very much, Toastmaster Satish Menon, and looking forward to catch up with you in the later meetings.
Now that we've heard from the district trio, it's time to hear from our audience. Yes, it's game time. Coming up next is Blebarium Revelio to exercise your brain muscles. Let's call upon stage our game master, Toastmaster Vishnu Kumar. He's a camera software engineer at Qualcomm and loves traveling. Over to you, Toastmaster Vishnu Kumar. Stage is yours.
Thank you, Abhirami, and thank you, Jimmy Patros. It was a very good, warm introduction. And yeah, the meeting started off very good, and it was a smooth go, and my heartbeat is at 168 beats per minute. And what else? Okay, so I think I might need some time to just recover from the excitement, but okay. So good evening, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmasters, and my dear guests. We are in this auspicious 800th meet of the Chennai Toastmasters Club, and I would like to appreciate the efforts and persistent hard work of the team for taking this club so far and beyond. With this note, I welcome you all for the first game session for the day, Blabarium Revelio. So the person you see in the screen is our friend Toastmaster Mark, okay, and certainly he has some problem with his tongue. So when he speaks, all we could hear is just blabbering. So he uses lots of fillers, pronunciations, and at the end, everything is a mumbo jumbo. So your task as a contestants is to decipher his blabbers and reveal the right word or sentence behind it. So here we go. So here's a sample, and this is one of the blabbers of Toastmaster Mark, and that would say like bull, lag, fry. So there's a word behind that. And it took me like days and nights of lots of hours of hard work. And finally, I found the answer to be Black Friday. Okay, so this is one example. So with this, let me announce the rules first. So the rules are, so first person to answer correctly wins, I said, and each question carries 1 point. Also look out for the gray cards. The background will be gray, and you can easily know it when you see it. And that carries 2 points. So 1 point will be for the answer, and the second point will be for the meaning that the word contains. You have to say that, the meaning of the word. So when you say the answer, please don't forget to unmute yourself. You can say the answer and your name, and then you can mute back yourself. So here's a quick tip. Try reading the sentence in a faster pace, so you might get the answer quicker. Okay, so everyone get ready. Have your pointers, have your mouse pointer in your mic. Be ready to unmute and mute it fastly. And here we go. The first question.
For your information.
Good, that's good.
Thomas.
What's your name? Thomas.
Thomas.
Okay, good. That was very cute. Quick. Great. And let's move on to the next question.
Dora the Explorer.
Very good. Very good, sir. And your name?
Lakshmi Narayan.
Lakshmi Narayan. Thanks. Thank you. Thanks, Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayan. Okay. Now let's move on to the next question.
Lactose intolerant.
Lactose intolerant.
Wow, great. It was very quick. And what's your name, please? Please tell your name as well. After the end.
Ayush.
Ayush. Okay. Thanks, Mr. Ayush. Now moving on to the next question. I think this should be easy. And
Just
quick.
do it.
Just do it.
Yeah, that's great. Good. You're right. And your name, please?
Toastmaster Jimmy.
Thanks, Toastmaster Jimmy. And yes. Moving on to the next question. It's one of the famous dialogues, and you should probably guess it.
Winter is coming.
You are right. Winter is coming. That's correct.
Thomas.
Thomas. Yes. Thanks, Thomas. Okay. Moving on to the next question. It's very related to our
Quarantine.
Quarantine.
Exactly. That's quick, fast, great. And your name
Thomas.
again?
Thomas.
Great. Good. So here comes the next question. A grey card.
Exuberant.
Clear. That's good. Right. Exuberant. And can you convey the meaning as well? Can you say the meaning of that word as well?
Exuberant is excessive, high level of excitement, joy, and all those heights.
You are right. You are right. So correct. Thanks for that explanation. Yes. Exuberant is nothing but full of energy, excitement, and cheerfulness. Like, I'm so happy and excited on seeing such exuberant audience. Thanks. So moving on to the next question. This could be easy. Mainly who always spend their time in front of cameras, at least.
Fearlessness.
No.
Mirror free.
Is a mirror selfie?
Yes, you are right. Exactly. The answer is mirror selfie. And your name, please?
It's Kartika.
Thanks.
Toastmaster Kartika.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Kartika. And moving on to the next question.
Saturday.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you're right. Saturday. Just quick. Okay. And we are going to the next question.
Please leave me alone.
Please leave me alone.
Yeah, you're right. And your name, please?
Ayush.
Ayush. Okay. Thanks, Ayush. So moving on to the next question.
Wonder Woman.
You are right. You're right. That's good. Quick. And your name, please, once again. Just
Thomas.
back of you. Yeah. Good. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you once again. Okay. Here comes the next question again. The grey card. I think somebody is close.
Acidity.
Hear the whispers. No.
Acetane.
No.
As I said,
Not really. No. It is a word. I mean,
assiduous.
Yes, you are right. I think it should be Toastmaster Nina John.
Nina
ma'am.
John.
Yeah. Thank you, Nina John, ma'am. Can you also say the meaning of that word, please?
Determined, very meticulous.
Yeah.
Very serious in their duties.
Yes, you're right, ma'am. You're absolutely right. Showing great care and perseverance, exactly. Like, as in, only because of assiduous efforts of our CTM members, it has reached this milestone of 800th meeting. Thank you, Toastmaster Nina John, ma'am. Again. So, moving on to the next question. It's also one of the famous dialogue, and many space who are people.
May the force be with you.
Yeah, you're right. And your name, please?
Toastmaster Rahul.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Rahul. You're right. The answer is may the force be with you. That's great. So moving on to the next question. This is also something related to a current situation.
Remote learning.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly. And your name, please, once again.
Toastmaster Rahul.
Toastmaster Rahul. Thank you, Toastmaster Rahul. You're right. The answer is remote learning. And yeah,
Call of Duty.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly. And who's the first person to say it?
Abhay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So the correct answer is Call of Duty. It's good. And here comes the next question. This also should be pretty straightforward. And I don't want to give any clue for this, at least. The clue is pretty much straightforward.
Toastmasters.
Yeah, you're right. The word behind this is Toastmasters. And can you explain? I mean, just can you give just one sentence about what is Toastmasters?
Public speaking and leadership.
Yeah, good. And your name, please?
Toastmaster Adil.
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster Adil. Yes, you are right. Toastmaster is nothing but a non-profit educational organization that operates clubs worldwide for the purpose of promoting communication, public speaking, and leadership. Yes. Thank you. Thank you once again. And moving on to the next question. It's confusing, but the word, it is a simple answer.
We are missing out.
You're close, but
Fear of missing out.
fear of missing out. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. And your name, please?
Rahul.
Rahul. Thank you, Rahul. The answer is right. The fear of missing out. The next question is,
Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon. Yes, you're right.
Thomas.
Thomas. Thank you, Thomas. And yes, I think we are to the end of the session. And this is how Toastmaster Mark says thank you for all of you who have participated. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for everyone for the participation. And yes, I think back to Toastmaster of the day, Abhirami and Jimmy Pathros. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vishnu. That was indeed a lot of fun. Thank you for the great entertainment. Jimmy, you're on mute.
I'm sorry. So next comes the most important segment of today's milestone meeting. We have our honorable chief guest, Toastmasters International President-elect 2021-22, our distinguished Toastmaster, Matt Kinsey, to address the audience. We are honored to have you at this special occasion, distinguished Toastmaster Matt Kinsey. Before we request distinguished Toastmaster Matt on stage, I request distinguished Toastmaster Geeta Shroff to introduce him. Over to you, Toastmaster Geeta Shroff.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jimmy. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests, and a special good evening to our chief guest, Matt Kinsey, DTM Matt Kinsey. It is indeed a great privilege today to introduce to you all distinguished Toastmaster Matt Kinsey. Matt Kinsey, the distinguished Toastmaster of Coral Springs, Florida, is the CEO of MTech Group in Coral Springs, Florida, which he started in 2007. Kinsey oversees all aspects of his IT consulting firm that services small and medium-sized businesses in South Florida, India. Mr. Kinsey holds a master's degree in computer information systems from the University of Phoenix, Arizona. He has a certificate in strategic management and was recognized with the Silver Beaver and Vigil Honor Awards for his work with the Boy Scouts of America. As a Boy Scout volunteer for more than 25 years, he has held numerous positions within the organization, including Scoutmaster, District Chairman, Event Chairman, and the Council Camping Chairman. A Toastmaster since 2003, Mr. Kinsey is a charter member of his home club, Outspoken Toastmasters in Coral Springs. He has held numerous high-profile leadership positions within Toastmasters and has attained the Distinguished Toastmaster designation, the highest level of educational achievement in the organization. I have learned that to be most successful, you need to lead with your heart and not with your head, he says. There is no finer program than Toastmasters for helping people build their self-confidence, communication skills, and leadership skills. As an officer of the Toastmasters International Board of Directors, Mr. Kinsey is a working ambassador for the organization. He works with the board to develop, support, and modify the policies and procedures that guide the Toastmasters International in fulfilling its mission. With these few words, I introduce to you all the chief guest of the evening, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Geeta Shroff. Without further ado, may I invite distinguished Toastmaster Matt Kinsey on stage.
I'm here today to encourage you to get out of Toastmasters. Now, some of you have a confused look on your face. Why would the international president-elect suggest in any way that you get out of Toastmasters? Well, it goes back to why Toastmasters was founded 97 years ago. Dr. Smedley started Toastmasters at the time to help young men become better equipped to work in their business and their community. If you think Dr. Smedley started Toastmasters for you to be a better speaker and leader within Toastmasters, then you kind of missed the point. The whole point of Toastmasters is to provide a safe environment where you can experiment and try things you've never tried before, to learn, and then you take that out into your community, into your home, your business, your country. For some people, even the world. If you're stuck in Toastmasters and not getting out of Toastmasters, I don't think you're there to do that. So I started Toastmasters 18 years ago, almost to the day. I visited a corporate club at Office Depot Toastmasters in Boca Raton, Florida, because they were offering free food. Free lunch. Why not? I'll go check it out. And what I discovered there was not the speaking that attracted me. Table topics looked pretty interesting. You see, I had been speaking in front of groups for years. I had competed in high school and college speech and debate. I'd been a minister for 2 years. So I spoke very regularly. Table topics looked interesting, but the evaluation was what really attracted me. Because what I saw was one person offering of themselves to another so that the other person could improve. And it wasn't just about the techniques. It was about the way it was presented in a positive and supportive manner that uplifted the other individual. And I knew two things. One, I knew I wasn't very good at receiving feedback. Now, don't get me wrong. Many people have trouble receiving critical feedback. That wasn't my problem. I grew up in a household where critical feedback was primarily what I received. I wasn't scarred by it, it's just the way it was. Praise was rare and not given often. So I had no problem receiving critical feedback, but receiving positive feedback, I really didn't know how to deal with that. And I tended to push people away when they gave me positive feedback. I would say things like, oh, though, that's no big deal. Diminishing the effort of somebody else to uplift me. The other thing I knew is I was equally as bad at giving positive and supportive feedback. I was really good at giving critical feedback, much to the chagrin of those who worked with me. But giving positive feedback also was something that I wasn't very good at. And that's why I joined Toastmasters. And I soon got involved with the leadership aspect. And in Palm Desert, I met one of your members, Nina John, when I was Lieutenant Governor of Marketing. Toastmasters is an organization, as Dr. Smedley said, that's dedicated to the individual, where we invest our time and energy in you so that you can develop your skills. But if you hide those skills within Toastmasters, you're missing the second half, which is to go outside and provide service. Now, we are not a service organization, don't get me wrong. Rotary, Kiwanis, Lions are service organizations, and they are tremendous organizations. People join them to go out in the community and give service. And if you go into a Rotary Club and you ask someone, hey, we've got a project this weekend, we'd like you to come out and help us. Well, that's what people are there for. So that's expected. People join Toastmasters to learn. We're an educational organization. So when I ask people to participate in something, I always focus on what they can learn by doing it. Now, there's another aspect of getting out of Toastmasters that I want to talk about this morning, and that's getting out of Toastmasters and getting in to yourself. Now, that sounds kind of weird to some people. What do I mean by that? Well, when I look at Toastmasters' core values of integrity, respect, service, and excellence, and we start with integrity for a reason. Integrity and our core values, in fact, as a group, are not a tool to chastise other people. They are a tool for you to reflect on your own values. They are a set of standards for you to hold up for yourself. And integrity, in particular, it starts within you. Now, I've heard many people say integrity is doing the right thing when no one's watching. And there's certainly an aspect of keeping your word as part of integrity. But it starts with, who are you inside? What are your values, and are your actions consistent with those values? Because what I've learned in order to lead myself, in order to be the person who I need to be, the most important thing I have to do is to be true to who I am. I have to lead myself first. I have to hold myself up to my standards first and foremost. Because if I don't do that, if I am inconsistent, if I am saying do this and inside I'm doing something else, how can I lead anyone else? How can I hold anyone else to any sort of standard if I'm not holding myself accountable for my own actions? So getting out of Toastmasters is not just about providing service outside and taking the skills you've learned in Toastmasters and putting them to work. It's about getting outside of that mindset and getting into who you are as an individual and understanding your purpose in life. Now, what is my purpose in life? I don't know. I think that changes throughout the years. For me today, my purpose in life, and not just for this meeting, but in more generally, is to help people discover what their purpose is. I went to a Toastmasters meeting. So around this time of year, and in the United States, we have a holiday called Thanksgiving. And Thanksgiving is an opportunity for us to be thankful for everything that we've got in our lives. I'm sure there are similar holidays in India. I don't know the names, but there are opportunities for you to express gratitude for the things that are in your life. Well, we decided that day to forego formal speeches, and we did a session of all table topics. And everybody participated. Everybody drew someone else's name out of a hat. And they had to get up and do a 1 to 2 minute table topics on why I'm glad that Toastmaster Thomas Abraham is in our club. It was an amazing experience because people heard things that they hadn't heard. One woman in particular, the Toastmaster got up and shared that whenever she walked into the room, people started smiling. And as he's saying this, tears began to roll down her face. Now, this was a woman who was nearly 50 years old, and she did not know that she had that impact on people. She said, I thought I just had happy friends. She never realized that she was the one who was uplifting their spirits on a daily basis. And that made a difference for her. So my encouragement to you today is to get out of Toastmasters. Get out of Toastmasters everything you can. Get out of Toastmasters. And as Helen Blanchard said, our first woman president, if you get everything out of Toastmasters you can, you'll never get out of Toastmasters. But if you hide your skills within the four walls of your club, if you don't take those skills, those speaking and communication skills into your community, whatever that community is, your home, your business, or for some of you, perhaps the world, then I think you've missed the point of why Dr. Smedley started Toastmasters. So as I asked you at the beginning, please get out of Toastmasters.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Matt Kinsey. Get out of Toastmasters. I was shocked. But as you said, Toastmasters gives us opportunity to identify the true potential on and off stage. So I could recall the song Hotel California. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. So that is Toastmasters. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We are very delighted and happy to hear you. Happy to have you with us on our 800 milestone meeting. Thank you so much. Now let's move on with the agenda.
Yeah. Next on cards, we have CTM delicious prepared speech recipes. And to serve them hot and crisp at your desk, we have our own Toastmasters. Our first prepared speaker for today is Toastmaster Nagendra Bharati. He's a retired techno-functional manager, a poet, and a writer in Tamil and English languages. Toastmaster Nagendra Bharati, Color Intelligence. Color Intelligence, Toastmaster Nagendra Bharati. Stage is yours.
Thank you, TMODs and distinguished guests and my dear Toastmasters. It's a great privilege for me to speak on the occasion of this milestone event, the 800 meeting of our Chennai Toastmasters Club. On seeing the colorful posters created for this event, my wife commented, what a great combination of different shades of colors. Glitter pink, clay brown, ruby red, fire yellow, and midnight blue. Midnight blue? No. I thought it was midnight something else, midnight masala. No. It is midnight blue. This color intelligence, I don't know how these girls and ladies, they are very comfortable with all these shades of colors. I know only red, green, blue, RGB, along with white and black. That's my color intelligence. I heard that there are so many courses for business intelligence, artificial intelligence, but I didn't see any course for this color intelligence. This lack of this color intelligence skill put me in a lot of strain and put me under a lot of stress, particularly when I go to these malls along with my wife. Yeah, last Sunday, I went with my wife to a mall, Forum Mall in Chennai. You all guys know that malls are for ladies, for the ladies, by the ladies, and of the ladies, right? We gents, we go there just to drink that Starbucks coffee or eat something not prepared at home, right? But these wives, they think that we are coming there to help them in the purchases. That is very, very bad. That's not our intention, right? I went there last Sunday with my wife. The first stop after entering the mall is textile shop. She directly get into the textile shop and straightly he went into that saree section. I went there with a lot of difficulties. You know, there are so many crowd. There are so much of crowd in the saree section. You might be knowing the reason why. I have to be very carefully, I have to move around without hurting the perfume coated bodies of the ladies, and also without getting hurt by the high heels of the modern ladies. At last I reached the destination. My wife took a saree and showed it to me. Is this Arctic blue good for me? But I had never seen Arctic Sea or Antarctic Sea, even Atlantic Sea. What is this Arctic blue? I just nodded my head here and there. See, Mitsuki says no, and then shown another saree. What about the sea blue? What Arctic blue and sea blue? Are they two different colors? Is Arctic is not a sea? I was confused a lot. Then she showed me, what about this aqua blue? Aqua blue? Aqua blue. Then she understood my uncomfortable situation. And then she asked me to go to the nearby section. Nearby section, I went there. Before that, she looked at me very, very affectionately. I know something is dangerous is going to happen. If the wives looked at us affectionately, something dangerous is going to happen, right? She told in a very, very soft tone, darling, could you go there and choose either cherry red or poppy red for me? Saree. What? Cherry red or poppy red? I know them only as flowers and fruits. How come they connected with that sarees? Anyhow, I memorized that cherry red, poppy red, cherry red, poppy red, cherry red, poppy red. I went there. But during the time, she instructed the girl in that section. You see, he's coming there. You show him different shades of red. What? I was about to take only cherry red or poppy red. How come different shades of red? This girl, very enthusiastically, this sales girl, she took 25 sarees from the shelf and threw it at me. I just withdrew and then it fell on the table. I looked at all those sarees. To me, all looked like same red. But anyhow, I wanted to keep my dignity, right? So I just looked at her and said, is there any different shade of red? She looked at me with a lot of respect. Hey, this person knows different shades of red. Okay. Then she took another 25 colors of shades of red color sarees and then threw it at me. She started telling, this is merlet red, this is garnet red, this is scarlet red, this is blood red, this is blush red, this is wine red. Oh, red wine, wine red. Okay, show it to me. It seems that I am very much associated with that red wine saree. I just took that and showed it to my wife. From that, she said, that means you just keep it there and come here. I just, without saying any word, I obediently kept that saree there, looking at that wine red, and then I came back there to my wife. On my return, she showed me two more sarees, one on left hand and one on right hand. How about this lemon yellow or how about this mustard yellow? Which one do you prefer? To me, both look like same yellow. Lemon yellow or mustard yellow? I was confused. I just closed my finger and showed this. Oh, you like lemon yellow? But darling, I like only mustard yellow. Then why the hell you are asking? That is only my mind voice. We are not supposed to talk to our wives like that, right? Married people in this crowd will definitely agree with me. Then okay, give me the bill. I took the bill. She gave me 6 bills. What, you took only one saree? Mustard yellow. What is the 6 bills? What for? Darling, I have chosen 6 sarees. These are all the 5 more colors. Emerald green, salmon pink, charcoal gray, rose pink, botanic blue. This rose pink and botanic blue are your favorites, right? An atomic bomb fallen. What is this botanic blue? Botanic blue and rose pink, I never heard about this, even in my dream. Then I just paid all the bills, and while returning, I just booked for that Uber cab. After some time, the Uber driver called me and told, "Sir, your car is in the side entrance. The color is neon green." Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nagendra Bharati, for a very colorful speech. Science indeed says that women may be able to see 99 million more colors than men. No wonder you men all have a hard time shopping with us. Now, moving on to the second speaker for today, we have distinguished Toastmaster Venu Neelakandan. He works with the Airports Authority of India, and he's a former president of CTM and currently serving as the area director C4 and also the club coach of Ten Tamil Club. Distinguished Toastmaster Venu Neelakandan, don't die before your death. Don't die before your death. Distinguished Toastmaster Venu Neelakandan. Stage is yours.
Thank you, Tia Modi. Good afternoon, everybody. 2 months ago, when I was in Calicut, I was talking to one of my colleagues. At that time, a teenage boy riding his bike rashly, he almost hit us. He fell down, he didn't wear a helmet. I got angry, I was about to beat him. My colleague stopped me saying that he's Sandeep's son. When I heard the name Sandeep, I was emotionally stuck. My emotion shifted from anger to affection. I went to the boy. I just helped him to stand up. I told him, "Man, please don't ride rashly. I beg you, please wear a helmet." The boy was totally confused because he thought I was going to beat him, but I was taking care of him. He had no idea why. I know you too have no idea why. To know why, you all come with me to 2008, 13 years ago. At that time, I was working at the Calicut International Airport. Sandeep was my roommate. He was a fire crew of Calicut International Airport. Sandeep was alcoholic. He used to drink whenever he was happy. Whenever he was not happy, he would drink. He used to drink whenever he was with others' company. Whenever he felt lonely, he used to drink. Literally, he needed no reason to consume alcohol. Because of his addiction, he made our quarter C4 as a bar to enter airport. Whenever people wanted to give a party, a liquor party, they would come to our quarter C4. 2008, May 16, they planned for a party. Around 7 o'clock, around 55 crew came to our C4 quarters. They started the party around 8 o'clock. One thing I admire the alcohol, the power of alcohol is, a peck of alcohol makes an ordinary person a philosopher, a scientist, a poet, a writer, a belly dancer. Even they would speak only in English. Do you know what's the most difficult thing in the world? Being sober among the drunkards. On that day, I was alone. Sober, 50 people were under influence of alcohol. Just imagine my condition. I was the only listener to the 50 speakers. Everyone wanted to listen to them. Particularly one guy, ex-serviceman, who was Dinesan. Dinesan unfortunately participated in the Kargil War. On that day, he made me to listen all the stories about the Kargil War. I was fed up. Somehow around 11 o'clock, one by one, passed out. Our entire room was just like a war field. Everywhere bodies. Another quality I admire about alcohol, it makes everyone equal. DGM, Deputy General Manager, was there. Junior Assistant Fire Crew was here. They are equal on the floor. I could not differentiate whose legs, whose hands they were. Somehow I managed to find a space. I managed to sleep there. Next day morning, it is Sunday, May 17, 2008. Every Sunday, Sandeep and I used to go to a movie at Calicut. On that Sunday also, we had already booked a ticket for a movie. We are supposed to leave at 10 o'clock. So I woke up at 8:30. I went to kitchen. I saw that Sandeep had already made the breakfast, puttu and egg curry. I was searching Sandeep. Sandeep was in bedroom having the liquors. I told him, man, yesterday only you had enough, but you are having again. He said, that's a party, man. This is my daily quota. I went to take bath. When I returned, the entire bottle was empty. It was 9:30. We shared the breakfast. And around 9:40, he got a phone call from one of his colleagues from the fire tower. He was in somewhat emergency one. He wanted the medicine. So he asked him to buy medicine. So Santosh was about to leave. I told him, don't go. I will go. Santosh said, no, within 10 minutes I will come. Within 10 minutes I will come. Exactly 10 o'clock we can go. He left. I was waiting. It was 10 o'clock, 10:15, 10:30. I was damn sure I missed the movie. I was so angry. I was waiting for them, stupid. Around 10:40, the doorbell rang. Scolding him with all the busy words, I opened the door. But Sandeep was not there. Dinesan stood there. Dinesan put his hands over my shoulder and let me go inside. And he told, Sandeep met with an accident, he died. First time in my life, I felt the rotation of the earth. I said, Cheta, don't play. Dinesan said, no, He was riding the bike rashly. He hit the bus. As he didn't wear the helmet, he died on the spot. How I could accept that? The person with whom I shared the food is still in my tummy to digest. How I could digest that the person with whom I shared the food was no more. How I can believe that the person who promised that he would come within 10 minutes would not come ever. What I would tell to his family. I told this idiot many times, don't mix, drink and drive. I told this idiot many times, please wear a helmet whenever you ride a bike. He didn't listen. Had he listened, my friend Sandeep would not have died before his death. So 2 months ago, when I met this small boy, his own son, when I told him, don't ride rashly, please wear a helmet, he may not have any idea, but I hope you have. Dear friends, I am seeing you all as my friend Sandeep. I'm telling you what I told Sandeep. Please don't drive, don't mix, drink and drive. Please wear helmet whenever you are riding a bike. Don't die before your death, as my friend did. Back to you.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Venu. Sometimes in life, we take the small things very lightly, and the small things become the big things in life. With a very, very simple message of don't drink and drive and don't wear a helmet. And around that, we heard about Sandeep, feelings, emotions, and much more. Thank you for that very, very touching speech. And today, for the last speaker, or the third speaker, we have our own Toastmaster, Reika Subramanya. She's the founder of Kalpataru Consulting, a coaching professional across the globe on project management. She's a Toastmaster for 7 years and the former president of CTM. Toastmaster Reika Subramanyam, who's the hero? Who's the hero? Toastmaster Reika Subramanyam. Stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhirami. Am I audible? Thank you. Who is your favorite hero? Rajnikant or Kamala Hassan? Tale or Talabadi? Dulquer Salman or Vijay Deverakonda. Every one of us have our favorite heroes. Few of us spend our meager earnings to print posters and cutouts. Few go to an extreme end where we fight for our favorite hero. But are these film heroes real heroes? Can you be a hero? Can I be a hero? Good evening, my dear fellow Toastmasters and guests. I realized that I'm a hero from an incident which happened few years ago. I was returning home, happily riding my bike, gazing at the people walking on the pavement on the left side, on my left side. I noticed an old woman walking slowly with a stick. Behind her, a young man and a small kid were walking, holding their hands and happily talking with each other. The kid should be around 7 to 8 years old, wearing his jean trouser and a sleeveless red t-shirt. He was jumping, hopping, and walking. He was laughing, giggling. And this young man should be in his late 20s. He was thin and tall in his jean trousers and a striped shirt. This young man looked familiar to me. After a few seconds of deep thought, I recognized him, and fear gripped me. There was a peculiar feeling in the pit of my stomach. I was confused. Should I ignore and go ahead, return to my home, or take some action? So with the same confusion, I was heading towards my home. I stopped near a police station and shared my concern to the two policemen standing at the entrance of the police station. They promised to take action, but returned to their chit-chat. I was again confused. Should I return home or do something about it? Determined, I took a U-turn and headed towards the young man and the small boy. I asked the young man, "Are you Karthik?" He was startled. Immediately returning to his normalcy, he replied, "Yes, so what?" I witnessed Karthik being arrested by police in a nearby school for sexually assaulting kids. Now, I turned to the kid and asked, "Who is Karthik to you?" Meanwhile, Karthik was yelling at me and asking me to leave the place. The confused kid replied, looking at Karthik, "Auntie, Karthik uncle is our family friend." And then I continued my barrage of questions to the kid and understood that both of them are going to a nearby mall and was not accompanied by the kid's family members. Shocked, I tried to reach the kid's mother by the number mentioned by the kid, but couldn't reach her. And again, Karthik was shouting at me, yelling at me, and he was asking me to leave the place. Looking at this drama, the confused boy requested me to drop him at his home. So I picked the boy and dropped him at his family shop as directed by the kid. The kid went to the shop and returned with his uncle and father. Both of them asked questions to me in a suspicious tone. I answered all their questions and narrated what had happened. Now, they shared their part of the story. This kid had some illness and they had to visit a hospital frequently. 1 week ago, they met Karthik claiming himself as an Ayurvedic expert and promised to treat the kid. And Karthik started visiting their home frequently, had lunch or food with them regularly, played with their kids, and in 1 week, he became part of the family. I asked them, do they know the whereabouts of Karthik? They don't know. I was shocked. It was a joint family of uncles and aunts and cousins with so many people in the family. None of them or all of them trusted Karthik, a stranger. They don't know Karthik's whereabouts, but sent a kid all alone with him. I couldn't imagine what could have happened to the kid. I left the place not knowing whom to blame. I don't know what happened to Karthik later. I don't know how many kids was assaulted by Karthik. I don't know how many such Karthiks are around us. Could I have done anything better than what I did? I don't know. All I knew, I saved one child, and hence I'm a hero. Should we have to think of injustice only when it happens to us? Should we not have people around us stand against the society when there is something wrong going on? I recollect the words of Abraham. I recollect a famous quote. This world is a dangerous place, not because of the people who do evil, but because of the people who look on and do nothing. Stand up for the right. You are a hero. Thank you, my dear heroes.
Who's the hero? Who's the hero? Reika ma'am is indeed our hero today.
We are all the
Toastmaster
heroes.
Reika, yeah, Toastmaster Reika, you made us all realize that we're all very capable of becoming superheroes. Thank you, ma'am. This is very inspirational. Now, moving on, Toastmaster Jimmy, did you know that the beauty pageant Jackson's son, who won the title of Miss Universe China, was a Toastmaster? She says Toastmastering helped her immensely on her journey to Miss Universe China. So I'm just thinking if I can kind of...
Please don't tell me that you're going to try beauty pageant now.
Probably you wouldn't support, but I'm sure the audience will support me.
Probably it's time to get back to business.
Okay. Sometimes you make my heart beat so fast.
What?
I'm referring to the table topics master. To fire the guns on table topics, we have distinguished Toastmaster Neena John. She's a charter member of the Chennai Toastmasters Club and the first area, division, and district governor of Tamil Nadu. She has also been the former chief judge, District 82, and currently the mentor pool chair of District 120. She is also the author of the book Navigating Corporate Seas, a book on management tools and techniques. She loves mentoring and is an executive coach for public speaking and life skills. Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Neena John. Over to you.
Thank you so much, beautiful TMOD. And in case you're feeling left out, handsome TMOD Jimmy as well. Very warm welcome to all the distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. And as they say, those who are neither ladies nor gentlemen are also welcome. So we're talking today about Toastmasters. We're celebrating the journey of Toastmasters. And since almost all those who are here today are Toastmasters, I would normally, I don't think, but I think we have a few guests, so I will still explain the rules for Toastmasters. So we will request you to speak on the topic for at least 1 minute or a maximum of 2 minutes. A grace period of 30 seconds is allowed, and you can carry on. So the green, amber, and red lights will be shown accordingly. What I will do first is
randomly call out some people. So since I see some very, very familiar old faces, I'm going to start with our past president, Sabrishwar Balakrishnan. Sab, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Welcome back to CTM. And the question, what was your icebreaker like? And what do you think of it now? Over to you, Sab.
Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmasters and distinguished guests, as they say. My icebreaker, at least in Toastmasters, happened sometime around 2013. I joined Toastmasters because I felt I was not properly utilizing my time over the weekends. And I just joined the CTM club at the Presidency Club in Egmore. And it was the 375th meeting of CTM at that time. So it was all about festivities in that particular meeting. I didn't get a chance to speak, luckily. But in the next couple of meetings, I continued and I gave my icebreaker. It was a table topic speech. Like, to be honest, I don't recollect the topic, but I'll have to say I made a very meager job at that time. I didn't know how to start a speak. I didn't know how to continue the speech, and I didn't know how to end the speech. So the first time when we take up the table topics, we get a topic, and usually what we do is we repeat the topic, and we use some techniques like I completely agree with this topic, because usually most of the table topics in Toastmasters are agreeable. So like we just use the technique that I completely agree with the topic, or we go on to praise the table topic master and say, this is a great topic and this is a very inspiring topic, and I would like to thank the table topic master for this kind of a topic. But what we learned from Toastmasters is pause for a few seconds, try to get some structure around, like try to have an opening to the topic, some content to the topic, and some good conclusion to that topic. And that was definitely not in my icebreaker, but that's something that I realized over the period of time, that we need to have some structure around the speech. And that's what I think I gained over the past few years. It's still a long way to go. Communication is a long journey. Leadership is also a long journey. But I think one of the speakers said before, Toastmasters is a very safe place where we can experiment our abilities to communicate, and experiment our ability to lead. Overall, one thing that I recollect from CTM as an experience, it has given me a very safe place to experiment, and also some very, very cordial relationship that I still remember. Thank you, ma'am. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sab. Nice to see you after a long time. And based on that, the way you ended that, my next question is open to anybody who would like to take it up. What are the most memorable relationships you have had in Toastmasters? Anybody? Yes. All right, I'm going to start calling names. Toastmaster Jocelyn. Or Toastmaster Arvind Nair.
Ma'am?
Yes, who's this? Sorry. Jocelyn?
Yes, ma'am. I'm unable to switch on my video, but can I speak, take up the...
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, I thank you for the table topic, particular topic. And I am a Toastmaster since this last term, starting from April. And as far as I've experienced from Toastmasters is that letting other persons grow. So having a growth in some place is really so fun because I've ever experienced such a wonderful place to talk with someone. I have no one to talk with, but here we have so many people to talk about anything. I can talk about anything and everything to anybody inside the Toastmasters. And the most memorable thing that I had is that people who approach me in my team, I'm from SIT Toastmasters, in my team, both seniors as well as my juniors never hesitate to approach me, both in any ways, in all the ways, in academic level as well as non-academic levels. They approach me with a friendly manner, not as a senior, not as a junior. Like that, I had a senior who just who's like my sister, who just approached me and taught me so many things. So I think having a person is getting a memory, and that's what I gained from Toastmasters, and it is so memorable thing that which I really got from you guys. Thank you so much for this
Thank you,
opportunity.
Jocelyn. That's awesome. We all remember that. So my next question, I think I had called for DTM Arvind Nair. Arvind, are you here? Okay, Toastmaster Yalini, are you there?
Hi, ma'am. Yeah.
One sec. Oh, again, we have a little communication. Yalini, can we just finish Toastmaster Arvind first, and then I'll come to you?
Sure.
Thanks, Yalini. Yes, Toastmaster Arvind.
Thank you, Nina.
Welcome.
Can I get the question once more?
My question is, can you give me an instance where Toastmasters table topics got you out of a very sticky situation?
It's really rather difficult. Over the 13 years that I've been a Toastmaster, situations have been there galore.
Right.
And I can't particularly put my finger on any one, but as a Toastmaster, I could let you know. I'm sorry I can't put my video on because I have a little problem.
Not a problem. Go ahead.
So yes, it does help you to get out of the situation. And I don't want to give an educational session on how you can get out of a situation, because there are various ways of tackling each situation. And yes, it depends on the person that you want to tackle, and it depends on the situation. So those are the two key points that you'll have to look at and then decide. But over the 13 years, the experiences and the situations that you come across make you quite adaptable to come to the correct situation, to come to the correct solution on how to approach and whom to speak with and how to speak with. And probably over 13 years, you understand the personality of that person. So you probably know what are his good points or something that what touches him, and then him or her, and then you use that to tackle the situation. And that's what I have been doing. Thank you, Nina, and over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Arvind. Yes, I can recall a situation where TT actually helped me get into a plane, although the doors were shut. They said, no, we cannot let this woman do this to us. And they actually put me on the plane in the last minute. All right, Yalini. Do we have...
Hi, ma'am.
Hi, Yalini.
Yes.
So my question
Hi.
is... Hi. How long have you been a Toastmaster?
I have been a Toastmaster from year 2011, but currently after 2018, I have been out of Toastmasters, and I belong. It's been a life-changing journey for me. I was an introvert.
Right. Okay, one sec. Yalini, let me get to the table topic. Right. My question is, do you remember the best evaluation you ever got as a Toastmaster, and why you still remember it?
Yes, the best evaluation I got is after my, it was an offhand evaluation.
Yeah, that's right.
It was after my year as my president as SLT Toastmasters was over. That was in 2016. DTM Salim gave an evaluation. Yali, you are
never personal. You keep everything very professional. This was the first time I saw you delivering a passionate, personalized message. So that was something I still remember, especially something I never not noticed that I have been, I'm not too personal. So that made me a real change. Usually, I never felt it before. So that I think evaluations doesn't need to happen it can happen outside, and it can happen offhand. So be ready to receive all the feedbacks and grow. So sometimes we think the evaluations are only evaluations that happen during the meeting. Over to you, DTM.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Yalini. And it shows us, as Toastmasters, if we are willing to help others grow, we don't confine ourselves to just that written evaluation. We don't confine ourselves to offline evaluations. We just talk to other members and say, this is what you did well, and people remember it all their lives. That's what being a Toastmaster is all about. And my next question goes to DTM Thomas Abraham. What is the best part about being a protege that has taught you to become a better mentor?
A protege, myself as a protege.
Yes. You were a protege once, right? Or only a prodigy?
Protege in the sense I was a mentee. I don't want to claim all the frills that come with a protege. I started, in fact, I pretended to be knowing something about communication to earn a living for 35 years.
Right.
I gave up that and joined Toastmasters because I got a chance to teach public speaking in a college, and the money was good. Only to validate what I was giving them was good, I joined Toastmasters.
Wow.
Now, as to what I learned, it's an incestuous story I'm going to tell you. I love mentoring. I love evaluation. I love contests. In the process, I needed a mentor. I needed a mentor who spoke the language, the lingo, the youthful language that was behind me by many years. So I took the help of my mentee, 1/3 my age, as my mentor. So I became a protege to my mentee, who was also my mentor.
Okay.
So that is the best thing I can talk about, where I learned most as a mentee. A protege, like I said, I feel embarrassed to assume it for myself. I hope you will accept this little variation in the word. That's my story. Thank you.
Thank you so much, DTM Thomas. And Toastmaster Lucky, are you ready? Toastmaster Lucky? Yes or no?
Sorry, I'm here, yes.
You're here, all right.
Thank you.
Tell me, what do you think are the benefits of online meetings for Toastmasters? Or are there no benefits? Are they all drawbacks?
I thought you never asked.
Yes, sir.
I'm a member of 4 clubs.
Oh, wow.
And I have been attending every meeting of my 4 clubs all these years since 1993.
Right.
And now you know why I look old. Traveling that much to all these 4 clubs all these past years. But thank God for this new venture, this new phenomenon, which became online Toastmasters meetings. And I think it's a great platform. I don't really have to go anywhere. Just sit on the same chairs in the same room, never travel anywhere, but I am anywhere around the world. So online meetings definitely for me are a boon, because at my age, I'm 81. Oh, don't tell anyone.
Awesome.
At my age, I don't think I want to travel that much physically every day to my 4 clubs. But online meetings, here, at least I got an opportunity to meet you all. Otherwise, I would never have. So yes, online meetings are a great feature for me, at least. Thank you.
Thank you, DTM Lucky. Thank you so much. One last topic. I think I have time for one, maybe two topics. Who would like to volunteer? Anyone? No, President, I am not taking you. You already have enough opportunities. I want someone who's neither a role player nor part of the panel. I'm seriously avoiding the panel also. Anyone who would like to try, who is a guest today? Anyone? Petra! Petra, you're also a panelist, so let me hang on and see if I can get somebody else, because again, you're getting a chance to speak. So I would like someone who hasn't spoken. Robinson? Yes, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Robinson. Okay, which year are we in, Robinson?
I'm here with Toastmasters since 2018.
Year since 2018. This is the year 2021. So if you believe in numerology, 2021, 2 + 2 + 1 is 5. My question to you is, where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Exactly. So I joined this club when I was very shy, could not able to speak to my clients, and it was a difficult days on the communication. Everyone, from my boss to my colleagues, everyone was saying you have a lot more things in your brain, but without communication, you could not able to succeed. So many stories, embracing stories, which brought me here. Specifically, I was always going for the table topics, try to make my blank screen on my brain to convert that into bright one. So exactly that has happened. So whenever I am speaking to my client or internal stakeholders meetings, then that has brought me a lot more vocabulary as well as the confidence in me to help, as well as the new Toastmasters. I have been a role model to them, from the shy guy to now to speak loud and clear to them what I want to communicate. This is my story of becoming a Toastmaster, how it helped me to come inside and to visit so many clubs and share my stories as well. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Robinson. That was a very edifying thing about, the journey of Toastmasters and where it has brought you and where it is going to take you from now. We have just, Madam T.M. Modi, do I have time for one more? Yes, I do. All right. So this question is open to anybody again. What is your funniest memory of Toastmasters, either at a club meeting or anywhere else? Anyone, something that will make all of us laugh. Anyone?
Hey, Nina, can I take this topic? Partha here.
Yes, Partha. Welcome, DTM Partha.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Nina. Good afternoon, good evening to Toastmasters from Chennai Toastmasters. Congratulations on the 800th meeting. What I remember from Chennai Toastmasters, probably it was a contest. And they had initially told me that in the contest, we needed some people to judge. So they asked if I could be one of the judges. And I was totally unaware of Toastmasters. It was the first time I was in Toastmasters and didn't even know what was judge. Of course, my father was an advocate, but that didn't anyway help me to understand what was judging in Toastmasters. And then they said, it's not a problem. We'll just give you a list of things to work out. And then that is mathematics. That is not judging. Then they've said, no, wait, we'll explain it to you. And even before I could actually sit around and understand what was judging, they asked me how many speeches I had finished. And I had finished only one speech at that point of time, and I was not qualified to be a judge. But believe it or not, that was the time they just switched this position. Whoever was going to be the Toastmaster of the day was made a judge, and I was made the Toastmaster of the day, or rather the contest master for that day. So it was the first time I was doing a contest master. I didn't know ABCD of Toastmasters, and every word I had to say was somebody had to prompt from behind. It was actually like acting in a movie. And when they say Toastmasters, I say Toastmasters. And the next contestant, every word had to be repeated. And today, of course, when I reflect upon that, it was a time in Chennai Toastmasters which I really loved, and there was a chance when I was given on stage, and probably that was one of the times which encouraged me to come on stage more frequently. But definitely that was something which I remember, and I hope I could capture at least or relive some of the moments here. And congratulations again, Chennai Toastmasters, on achieving a wonderful milestone. Thank you so much for the opportunity, distinguished Toastmaster Nina.
Distinguished Toastmaster Partha, that was hilarious. I can just imagine. I mean, as I keep saying, we have so many acronyms in Toastmasters, and we have guests walking in, and they don't know the difference between a Toastmaster and a Postmaster. And I was asking one person, like, where are you a Toastmaster earlier? And he actually turned around and said, "What a Toastmaster? I'm a Postmaster." And I was like, oh my God. All these years, all those sad jokes, and suddenly there's a live Postmaster talking to me at a Toastmaster meeting. That is one of my memories. So it's back to you, both the Toastmasters of the day, Madam Toastmaster Abhirami and Toastmaster Jimmy. And thank you all for a wonderful time. Back to you, sir.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Nina John. That was indeed a scintillating table topic session. Our table topic master very beautifully engaged all the members today, bringing those small, candid, heart-to-heart conversations on Toastmasters to us. Now, before we get on to the next segment, let me ask you all something. Have you ever waited for a rain holiday during your school days? How many of you? Show of hands. Great. If you did, then I'm sure you would recollect the man who brought cheers to our little minds. Today, we have with us Tamil Nadu government's former weatherman, Dr. S.R. Ramanan, as our keynote speaker. To introduce Dr. Ramanan, I invite Toastmaster Geeta Shroff onto the stage. Over to you, Toastmaster Geeta.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Abhirami. Good evening once again, fellow Toastmasters and guests. It is indeed a great pleasure to introduce to you all our keynote speaker, Dr. S. Ramanan. Dr. S. Ramanan joined India Meteorological Department in the year 1980. He has worked as a forecaster in the Northern Hemisphere Analysis Center in New Delhi and at Aviation Meteorological Office of Chennai Airport. He was actively involved during the installation of automatic message switching system, and consequent to his promotion as the director in the year 2002, he joined the Area Cyclone Warning Center at the Regional Meteorological Center at Chennai. Dr. Ramanan is a postgraduate in physics from Annamalai University. He got his PhD from the Madras University in the field of agricultural climatology. He also has received his honorary doctorate from Vinayaka Mission University in recognition for his services. He has represented India in Japan regarding the preparation of inventory for greenhouse gases, and France in connection with the modernization program. He also has represented the country regarding the synergized standard operating procedures for coastal hazards in Bangkok. Talking about his awards, he is a recipient of the For the Sake of Honor Award and Vocational Excellence Award by the Rotary Club. He is also the recipient of Varnilai Aivu Chemmal from Tiruvadurai Adinam and Tamilian Award from Pudiya Thalaimurai channel. With these few words, I welcome you, Dr. Ramanan. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Geeta. Now, ladies and gentlemen, with a big round of applause, let's welcome on stage Dr. Ramanan. Over to you, sir.
Well, thank you, madam. Thanks, everybody, all Toastmasters. Good evening to you all. Actually, I'm a novice when it comes to oratorical skills in comparison to those who I heard just before. All fantastic. I'm a novice. My effective public speaking is just for a few minutes. What is the weather? Likely in next 24 hours, then it stops. Well, longer speeches I have given through a PowerPoint. Well, it will be a structured one. The title slide, presentation outline, and then a thank you slide, conclusion and all. Here it is going to be basically an extempore delivery. So a bit of rambling will be there here and there. Kindly pardon me for the same. Well, if you can ask what I would have been had I not been in this department, well, I would have been a school teacher. It was the time when the higher secondary education was introduced in Tamil Nadu, and practically all my classmates became school teachers. Few of them went to colleges also. I was a solitary person who went to this department, weather department. When I told I have joined weather department, some were amused. Some people even told me to reduce unemployment, government has opened such departments. So you have joined like that, they are telling. Well, it was not to be. Now later people came to understand the effective way in which the department can contribute in saving the livelihood and property of the people. That's the thing. Well, if one has to become famous, either you should be in a small screen or in a silver screen, or you should be a captain of industry or in sports or a politician. I was none of in this field. Yet I could become famous mainly because I had a dedicated set of staff who helped me, and also the family is there. Because I am not generating the forecast, this is department's forecast. I am just a phase of it. I cannot say I have done it, I have done nothing of that sort. Because it is the finest example where cooperation among all the people is taking place across the world. Data comes from different parts of the world, it is analyzed, and then it is given as a forecast for everybody. And then the improvement in science and technology also contributed a lot. But for that, it would not be possible. That's the most important thing. And as far as the development is concerned, science and technology, if they have improved in the United States or Europe or wherever it is, they will certainly help us. And we also help them. That's why it's a two-way cooperation. That's what is taking place. And most important thing, I was sitting in that seat of Area Cyclone Warning Center for 14 years. In 13 years, rain was normal or above normal. Had it been erratic, and had it been very bad years, people would have cursed me. This fellow is sitting, that's why no rain is coming. Thank God, it was a bountiful rain, and I was absolutely happy. So it's a combination of many factors. And then coming to the development of science and technology, I told you, meteorology department has the capacity to absorb whatever development takes place elsewhere. That is the beauty of it. When satellite was about to be launched, there was a race between then Soviet Union and United States who will launch the first satellite. Then Soviet Union did by launching Sputnik. But Americans were not bothered. They had a communication satellite and other satellites. And now we had an eye which can locate a storm cluster or a cyclone in a vast sea where you don't have any observatory at all, where you don't even have an island with an observatory. So it became a wonderful tool to locate a cyclone many days before it can land in some country. Similarly, radar. Radar was used in Second World War to locate enemy aircraft. But meteorological community used that to locate clouds it will see, and whether it is coming to you or going away from you, what is the quantum of water inside, everything you can find in the radar. Similarly, computers. Nobody thought computer can be used in meteorology. Once computer came, equations of physics were used, and we could predict, and we got a new field called the numerical weather prediction. Before the advent of internet, meteorological telecommunication system was the biggest telecommunication system in the world, disseminating the messages across the world from North Pole to South Pole. With the advent of internet, it took that and for exchanging the data. That's the thing. So there lies a story for everyone. If you are in one field, in some other domain or some other field, some advances are taken place. And if you can bring it to your field, you can excel. You can go reach the top summit. That is the thing. Message you can get from that. Well, even Steve Jobs did that. You found the use of mouse somewhere, and we got it in computers now. Similarly, he was a college dropout in calligraphy. Because of his knowledge in calligraphy, we could get the fonts, Times New Roman, calligraphy like that. Well, when it comes to effective public speaking, I told you just I could speak for a few minutes only because the time is costly for TVs because they used to give advertisements that time slots. But they did give me a little bit more time, unlike others, because they found that it's useful to the public. Still, I used it judiciously. So I used to tell within half a minute or 1 minute what was the weather yesterday, the quantum highest rainfall few stations, what is the likelihood of tomorrow and all. When it comes to cyclone, I have to talk a little bit more because there are warnings I had to give. That is a fisherman warning, warning for the torrential rain, strong winds, storms, etc. So here I am really happy that in Toastmasters Club you are able to hone the skills of people and you're giving an effective training for the people to become an effective public speakers. Wonderful indeed. Well, as far as the memory of my journey in my department, well, the greatest thing I cherish is not a single fisherman died off Tamil Nadu coast. That is the greatest thing because they took it seriously. Those who are far away, somehow they used to reach the shores. Those who are on the shore, they will not venture into the sea. So that's the scenario, and I was absolutely happy. Other things I can mention is glossary in Tamil, English equivalent to Tamil words. A set of committee was formed in our department. They all contributed, and we could bring the glossary, and it is in our website too. And I could proudly say that we could introduce few Tamil words like Vepachalanam and Meladukku Suvachi. Vepachalanam is convective rainfall. We don't have any weather system in summer. Again, you are getting a rainfall. Because of the radiation from the sun, it's a short wave. It is not heating the earth. The re-radiation from the earth which heats the atmosphere. Because of re-radiation, the air mass gets heated, goes up, and becomes clouds and gives you rain. So the convective rain, that I use the term Vepachalanam. Similarly, there will be no weather system on the surface, but there will be vortex up aloft, some circulation. It will give buoyancy to the atmosphere and create clouds. So that we call Meladukku Suvachi or upper air circulation. So now people are very familiar with these two terms like that. There are many terms like that. Well, I retired on superannuation. Post superannuation, I got offers from films, serials, and advertisement and all. I flatly refused. It is not, acting is not my cup of tea. So post retirement, what I do is I do outreach programs to schools and colleges. I am not doing actual forecasting. People call me, please do forecasting through YouTube. I refuse, bluntly refuse, because it will create confusion. Who is correct, department or myself? Because I was not interested in such things. So what I did was, I had an outreach program. I go to schools and colleges and tell the people what is weather, what is climate, all these things. So people are getting a better understanding of everything. That's the thing. And then I do a lot of travel, and some books also I am writing nowadays, so that in Tamil, so that people can understand about weather and all. Some interesting things I can tell. Well, when after this Thane cyclone, I once went to Puducherry, few days after it crossed the coast, south of Kadalur. One fisherman caught hold of my hand and told, today I am alive because of you, because of the one I didn't go. I am the sole breadwinner of the family. I was very much moved. Then I understood the effectiveness of the warning, so that it could save a lot of lives. That's the thing. And then some interesting things are also there. When cyclones are there, we give the names. And newsmen, they are more interesting names. Of course, it is having a disaster effect. It can inundate the land, torrential rain, everything can happen. Disasters can happen. Still, they are all bothered about the name. One person asked me whether the term it is Neelam or Nilam, like that he asked. I told, what is the big thing in the name? I told. Then I remembered Vivek. He will wake up his professor late in the night and ask, what is your, sir, your name is Das. It is just Das or Lord Das, he will ask. So I told them, it's after all a name, why you bother about it? Tell that disasters affect the same language. I used to tell. Well, I went once to a school. Then one girl asked me, "Sir, I want to become like you." I asked why, because I thought she is interested in saving the people's life and all. That's why she is interested in this field like that. I told her, "What makes you to think like that?" "Sir, you are doing a very good thing, sir." She told. "What good thing?" I asked. She told that you are declaring leaves. I told, "Absolutely not. It is none of my job." Similarly, same way, when I went to a small village near Madurai, one girl was showing me and telling he was the person declaring leave. Then next, I went to a popular magazine in Tamil. They came for interview. I told them, it is only the collector and the chief education officer of the district who is declaring the holidays, and it is not me. But still, people think that I am the person who is declaring the leave. And as far as the inspiration is concerned, few people got inspiration due to me, I should say. Thanks. Because one person left his job in a software company. He wrote this exam, graduate aptitude test, and joined the MTech course in atmospheric sciences in the Andhra University, Visakhapatnam. And he is doing a doctorate in the Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology. So many people have started, even the bloggers they have started the clubs and all. I'm absolutely happy. So that they are spreading the knowledge about meteorology to everybody. If I start talking a lot of things, I can talk. So I had to put full stop somewhere. So I am putting the full stop here. Now I am open for questions. Whatever doubts you are having, please do ask me.
So this is Lakshmi Narayan here.
Tell me, sir.
So as you mentioned that you don't want to conflict with your predictions now after you coming out of your job, you don't want to conflict with your predictions. But we see a weatherman Facebook is going on. So can we rely on the weatherman more than the government?
See, I tell you, we only by seeing computer people are telling. We don't have equipments and all those things. And it comes to lives. For example, a lot of people will die in the sea, fishermen and all. Somebody has to take responsibility, is it not?
Yeah.
And if I start giving a forecast and tell this stuff going somewhere and somebody else somewhere, who will take responsibility? Tell me. That's the thing. So that's why I'm not involving myself in that. Only in outreach program to give a knowledge of how these weather phenomena is occurring. I am doing that job, nothing beyond. Even now, I am getting the best forecast in the world from Europe and Central, also through friends. I just see them and give a cursory glance. That's all. Nothing beyond that. I don't want to do the forecasting job. That's the thing. And so seeds of confusion among the public.
Sir, good evening. Abhilash here.
Tell me, sir.
Sir, so I have been observing you from 6th grade. So
Yes,
6th
sir.
standard, when I did observe you, I actually, so some of your predictions did go wrong. But when I was in 8th or 9th, your predictions are very spot on, sir.
Yes,
I
sir.
wanted to ask you, when these predictions go wrong, how do you deal with that uncertainties, sir?
See, it is not my prediction. It is a department's prediction. It's a collective thing. So I predict, I give it out, and then I don't bother. I go on to the next day. That's all. Only if you own it, you will feel for it. It's a department prediction. I don't own it at all, and I will never say I have done it. It's the department has done it. That's all.
Sir, good evening. I have a question, sir.
Yes, sir.
In 2015, that flood.
Yes.
What was the contribution of meteorological department, and where we failed actually?
2015, we never failed. I should say, I tell you, on December 1st, we had extremely heavy rainfall. So for 3 districts, Tamil Nadu, that is Kanchipuram, Chennai, and this other district, what is the Tiruvallur, I gave extremely heavy rainfall, 25 centimeters and above. It came even under the scrutiny of Parliament. Parliament, they raised the question, they checked the forecast. Otherwise, they had to put the blame on me. Ramanan gave a wrong forecast like that. But even though it's a department's forecast. That's the thing.
Sir, good evening. Yeah, I would like to thanks for all the information what you have shared and the experiences. It is all the great wisdom from you. I have a question. So, since we can able to predict and this much accurate, so we are very closer to the European predictions. So why can't we do for a year for these farmers who are all having, depending upon the monsoon, and there is a throughout the country we have a big drought. So I thought, always thinking that why can't we bring something to these poor guys, try to help them that if there is going to be a drought, they can keep their away for some time and get cultivation when there is a monsoon hit them in the right way.
See, I tell you, I am in touch with the farmers also. I used to talk to farmers also, and I used to tell them how to use meteorology. First thing, we are a water-starved thing. We are a rain shadow region during the southwest monsoon. So when it comes from Karnataka, Kerala, this rain, this river, Kaveri, we are having a lot of dams in Karnataka. So you won't get the full flow. Sometimes if the monsoon fails in the district also, again, drought-like scenario will come. So the best solution is, when you are not going to have plenty, don't go for crops which demand high water, like sugarcane, then your rice crop and all these things. So the best is to avoid those crops and grow crops which demand less water, like pulses and vegetables. Like that, we have to decide in the economy of it. And there is no point in pumping the water from the ground and irrigating it, because we will have a problem for drinking. So we should use our resources judiciously. We should develop crop varieties which will demand less water. That's how we have to go about. So we should take the rainfall pattern for the past 50 years, which is suitable for that area, like that. And then we should also follow what Israel is doing. Israel is a desert. So they convert the sea water into a pot water and potable water, and they are using for vegetable growing the crops. But you see, the cost is heavy. To stop evapotranspiration from the leaves, they are having a cover over the field, entire field. So much capital intensivities. Still, they are getting profit because they are growing orchid flowers, which they are able to sell through taking by flight to cities like Amsterdam. They are able to sell, and they are able to get the return on investment. So we have to think like that. And we should not just broadcast seeds. We should use some automation so that right quantum of seeds should be go into the field. Like that, we should do everywhere how to judiciously use this technology so that we don't end up with loss.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir.
How did you choose your career in the days where engineering and other streams were popular? How did you choose to become a weatherman, sir, which was unusual during those times?
Yes, yes. Because when I was studying the BSc in my Vivekananda College, one officer from meteorology department gave and was talking about the weather systems, how it generates, how it gives rain. So I got fascinated. And I had a love for geography also. So both are combined here. See, the weather of science is basically physics, atmospheric physics. And weather across the climate across the world is geography. So since I had a love for both, so I could enjoy in the department. I enjoyed my job. Even though I used to sit late in the night, many days I will be in the office. I was not bothered at all. I was not bored. I was very happy really, because I could contribute something to society. That's the thing. I thank the Providence for giving me that opportunity to do that.
Fantastic, sir. Thank you so much.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Great. Good evening, sir.
During your speech, you touched upon the satellite and all.
Yes, sir.
Can you brief that another 5 years, what are the new technology it will help human being?
Actually, this long range forecast, seasonal forecast is also there. So this year, how monsoon would be like that, I saw those seasonal forecasts, because not all the forecasts will be same. If they are same, 100% will happen. There will be divergence of opinion. So I saw those forecasts, but generally on the whole, they have predicted that this year the rainfall in Tamil Nadu will be normal like that. So we are supposed to get 44 centimeters. Already we got around 20 plus. So we can get the thing. So improvement in this activity in this research in seasonal forecasting can occur. And if the computing power also increases, even the day-to-day weather forecast also can further improve, but may not be to the level of what is happening in the extra tropics. You should not compare extra tropics with the tropics. So extra tropics, extra latitude, they are all due to fronts. That is cold air and warm air mass meeting and creating weather. So they are unidirectional. Only from the west the winds will blow. Now if there is a system in London giving rain, in next few hours it will be in Paris. Afterwards it will go to Germany, like that you can predict. But tropical thing is challenging. Even in advanced countries like United States, you cannot tell tomorrow one twister tornado is going to come. You cannot tell. Well, further a lot of research if it takes place and well, they can predict that also in future, means it will be wonderful. It can save a lot of lives.
Hi, sir, Mr. Ramanan. It was very good to have you here. One small question I have.
Yes, sir.
What is your take on rivers, stagnant rivers, like the Kuvam River? Now we are seeing, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I happened to see the photos of Kuvam River
Yes,
before independence. It was really good, and even boats were there. Now
Yes.
it is very in a bad condition.
Yes,
So
yes.
what is your take on what
See,
we can do?
we can't do anything now because they have put the pillars for the metro rail over the Kuvam. What we can do now? That's one thing. And then I will tell you, when I was a school student in Mylapore, I have seen boats going through that river itself. People carrying salt and all those things. We do need certainly waterways. Water is one of the best way in which we can reach places easily with a speedboat and all. It is an alternative way of transport. If you take many cities like Amsterdam, Venice and all, we have waterways also used as transport. Certainly it will definitely help. We can also think in that way, but no lakes are there. Only lake view roads are there. What to do? That is the crux of the problem.
Thank you, sir.
Great. Thank you. And in the interest of time, we're closing the Q&A session. Thank you, Dr. Ramanan, for sharing with us an insight of the day in the life of a weatherman. At the moment, climate change is of the highest priority to the world, and we appreciate your outreach program trying to create an awareness on climate change. And I'm very sorry to admit, as a 90s kid, I always believed that you declare our holidays. Very sorry for that.
No problem.
Thank you,
So,
sir. It's a
shall I tell
pleasure.
something about climate change? Do you want me to tell?
In the interest of time, just moving on, sir.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Sure, sir. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. A very informative session indeed. Moving on with the agenda, did someone allow Toastmaster Rohit Saxaria inside?
Yes.
Oh my God, he is there. He is there. We have been telling him 1,000 times, this is a serious meeting, no playing around too much. Already one game is over. He wanted to conduct the game. Ladies and gentlemen, no choice. The next 7 minutes will go in a quick. Next 7 minutes will go in a quick. Over to you, Toastmaster Rohit Saxaria, for the game session.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. Are you all having fun? I'm having a great time at this milestone 800 meeting. Now let's take this fun quotient a little up. Let's quickly play a game of Squid. Actually, this game is inspired by a board game I play with my kids, and which has the same name, Squid. So very quickly, how do we play? So you have these letters similar to what you will have seen in Scrabble, and you have a clue. Someone you call in emergency. Now you have to make a word of minimum 4 letters using these letters. So here you can see you have 2 each, so you can use E twice, but all other letters are only 1, so you can use it 1 time. Okay? And the rules remain the same. You can unmute yourself, say it, say your name, and go back to mute. So here, the first one, let me give it to you.
Can I say Toastmaster Rohit Saksaria?
Yes.
So I have help, HELP.
Someone you call in emergency, help.
Yes.
Okay.
Police.
Police.
I'll take that. Police is what I had in my mind. So this is how we are going to play it. Okay.
Cops, yeah, okay.
And just to help you all, the letters remain the same throughout the game. We are not changing the letters.
Helicopter.
Okay, so the first clue coming up, something farmers grow.
Crop.
Very good. Who's that?
Abhilash.
Abhilash. Great job, Abhilash. Next one, a verb. Remember, I played with my kids.
Crop is a verb.
Can't
Elope.
repeat any of the previous answers.
Help is a verb.
Elope is a verb.
Sorry, elope, I heard I didn't hear the one before.
Help is also a verb.
Sorry, I still didn't get
Polite.
it.
Polite.
Trip. Trip. TRIP.
So let me take elope. Who was the one who answered elope?
Geeta.
Okay, thank you, Gita. And let's move to the next one. A number.
3.
1.
Very good. Who's that?
Matt.
Our president-elect.
Great, Matt. A noun.
Helicopter.
Wow. That covers all the words, no.
Pole. Pole.
Helicopter. And that's Matt again?
Yes.
Great job, Matt. Something you do in kitchen?
Cook.
No?
Oh, no, only one O is there.
Clean. And okay.
Pot.
Sorry?
Pot.
Heat.
Peel.
Yeah, that's correct.
What's it?
Peel.
Peel.
Yes.
Chop.
Chop and peel. That's again Matt.
Chop. CHOP. Chop.
Yes.
Yeah. Mostly heard on hills.
Echo.
Echo.
Great. Who's that?
Vilash.
Vilash. Related to movies.
Reel.
Sorry?
R-E-E-L.
Theater.
Reel. Great job. That's a great word. Who's that?
Me, Nina
Nina
Jan.
ma'am.
Nina ma'am. Great.
Chop. CHOP. Chop.
Not from
Chop.
movies.
The
Chop
cheaper
the reel.
things, sir.
Yeah, I can give that, but reel is the first one. Now,
Pot.
this is interesting.
Pot.
4 letters minimum.
Oh.
Hilt. Like the hilt of the knife.
Knife.
No, no, the hilt of the knife. What you hold
H-I-L-T.
the knife with. A hilt. H-I-L-T.
Yeah, but it's not something you use. right?
It's a part of something you use.
Yeah.
I won't give that.
Right? R-I-T.
R-I-T-H.
No,
What's
rice.
that?
R-I-C-E.
No.
Wow, that's great. Something you definitely use while cooking. Who's that? Rice?
Rice.
Rice is something that we
I
cook.
think it was DTM Matt again who told rice.
No, someone else said rice.
Oil, pepper.
Sorry.
The word I had in my mind was recipe.
Ooh.
Ah.
Ooh.
A mode of protest. Something you would have seen in news in India quite often these days.
Rally.
Can't make it here.
Rally.
Right.
Correct. Who's that?
It's Lakshmi Narayan.
Wow.
Ah, right. Yeah.
Right.
Wow. Oh.
An adjective. Come on. We use so many of them.
Polite.
Reel someone in.
Sorry, I didn't hear.
Polite.
Polite. Polite.
Elite.
Polite. That's a good one. Matt again?
Yes.
Great job, Matt. Something related to sports.
Pole.
Yeah, good one.
Thank you.
There are golf players here.
Pole and pole also.
Pole, P-O-L-E.
Or both, yeah. P-O-L-E.
Pole. P-O-L-E.
All of them possible. A type of literature.
Poet.
Epic.
Poet.
Epic.
P-O-E-T.
Epic.
Poet.
Epic.
Poet is not a type.
Okay.
Epic.
Epic is yes.
Who's that? Epic?
Nina, ma'am.
I was second, but I think somebody else said it first.
Yes, Karthik from Hexaware Toastmasters.
Karthik.
Karthik.
Karthik from?
Hexaware Toastmasters Club, man. Thank you.
Hexaware.
Okay, Hexaway, fine.
Okay, next one.
There's some disturbance,
Cryptocurrency.
so just
Ether.
Good job.
Wow, who was there? Sap. Great.
Something you use on holiday.
Trip.
People have not gone on holiday for quite some time now.
Trip, right?
Trip is a holiday. This is something you use on a holiday.
We hire a car, so hire.
Hire.
Okay, with letter H only. Something else.
Hope the holiday does not get cancelled. So HOP.
Hotel. Hotel.
Hotel. Yes,
Wow.
great.
And trip, T-R-I-P, trip.
No, trip is not.
yes, TRIP also. No, yeah.
Okay.
TRIP.
Any 6-letter word which we have not done before so far?
Hitler. Wow.
Oh my God.
Sorry?
Awesome.
Sorry, I didn't hear the word.
Whoa.
Hitler.
Hitler.
Police.
Wow.
Rohit, I'm sure you would have never thought about that.
Yeah.
So what was in your mind, Rohit?
There are many of them. Erotic, copter, copier.
Report.
Wow.
And the last one, but this has already been answered once.
Helicopter.
Helicopter, yes. Helicopter is the word which uses all the letters, and using those letters, I prepared this game.
Awesome.
Awesome. I had a great time. Hope you all had fun. Thank you. And back to you, TMOD.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Rohit Saxaria, for testing our vocabulary. We thoroughly enjoyed the game. Let's move on to the next session. Coming up next, we present to you the most awaited segment of the meeting, a panel discussion with the best international panel ever. So first of all, let me introduce our moderator, distinguished Toastmaster Jayan Narayanan. He is the founder of Toss the Coin marketing company based in Chennai, an alumni of BITS Pilani, has been a Toastmaster since 2006, charter president of Meraki Toastmaster Club. He is the immediate past PR manager of District 120. Ladies and gentlemen, a quick fact. This is his 1175th appearance in front of yet another bunch of lovely audience. He is fondly known as the humor king. You've also seen in the past he enjoys pulling legs, which we decided not to mention here. We are not saying that here. We are not saying that here. May God bless his panelists. We welcome you, distinguished Toastmaster Jayan Narayanan.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
Next, we will have on stage our panelists from across the globe. Starting with our first panelist, distinguished Toastmaster Rich Hopkins, joining us from the United States of America. He's been a Toastmaster since 1999 and is fondly known as a serial contestant. He's been a club officer 30 plus times, a district officer twice, and served as a pathways guide in District 26. He's an author, podcaster, presentation coach, and a professional speaker. Welcome, distinguished Toastmaster Rich, to the spotlight.
Next, we have our second panelist, distinguished Toastmaster Petra Choradol, joining us from Thailand. She's been a Toastmaster since 2001. She's the first woman DTM in Thailand in 2004. Served as District 97 Club Coach, Club Growth Advisor, and Club Retention Chair in 2016. She has served as Toastmasters International Revitalize Program Ambassador and received Presidential Citation Honor in 2016. Her life motto is, never stop learning because life never stops teaching. Welcome, distinguished Toastmaster Petra to Spotlight.
Next, we have a third panelist, Toastmaster Shahbaz Baloch, joining us from Pakistan. He's the president of the Lahore Toastmasters Club. He's a motivational speaker, a social entrepreneur, coach, and a mentor. Welcome, Toastmaster Shahbaz, to the spotlight.
Our fourth panelist, distinguished Toastmaster Vasanthi Ravi, joining us from Singapore. A Toastmaster for 6 years plus and the current District Administration Manager for District 80, Singapore. An active volunteer with the Friends of Museums supporting the National Heritage Board of Singapore. Welcome, distinguished Toastmaster Vasanthi, to the spotlight.
Our fifth panelist, distinguished Toastmaster Sita Kadirgamanathan, joining us from Sri Lanka. She has been a Toastmaster since 2014, currently the Deputy Chief Judge for District 82. She's a Senior Credit Risk Manager at DFCC Bank and also an Associate of the Trinity College of London for solo piano. Welcome, distinguished Toastmaster Sita, onto the spotlight.
Last but not the least, our own fifth panelist, distinguished Toastmaster Aditya Maheshwaran, joining us from London. Distinguished Toastmaster Aditya Maheshwaran started his Toastmastering journey at CTM. He's a management consultant. He's passionate about business, leadership, and public speaking, and philosophy. He's the first Indian representation as a finalist at World Championship of Public Speaking in 2015, where he was the first runner-up. Welcome to the spotlight, distinguished Toastmaster Aditya. So here we go. Over to the moderator, distinguished Toastmaster Jayan. Stage is yours.
Hey, thank you so much, both of you. It's wonderful to be here yet again for yet another milestone meeting of Chennai Toastmasters Club. There's so much history to this club, and I fondly remember the first day I ran into a demo meeting conducted by CTM. DTM Nina was very much there. This was in my company that I was working for. It's called Covances. Little did I know that 800 the milestone meeting, we all will be meeting again as someone who has gone through the grind and grown through the years. And a quick trivia for many of you who are not aware, I used to call Aditya and Sasta as the college kids when they joined CTM long ago. And today they're doing so well personally and professionally, and also as Toastmasters. So CTM has contributed to growth stories of plenty of people. And I'm so glad that they came up with yet another novel idea of bringing together people from across the world for a panel discussion like this. Hats off to the pandemic and the little ways by which we thank the COVID for bringing us together on an online platform. Otherwise, this wouldn't have happened. We are talking about probably 4 time zones, the US, UK, India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka together, and also Thailand. So this is amazing. So I'll quickly get on to some interesting discussion with my panelists. The first round is going to be for 3 minutes each. I'm not sure who the timer is, but somewhere I am hoping that a green light will pop up. So I'm requesting all the panelists to have an eye on that particular Toastmaster. Yeah, I think it is Ayush V. Jain. Am I right? Ayush, yeah, I see Ayush waving there. So yes. Ayush is the most important person in this panel discussion. So please have an eye on his grid. So quickly to DTM Rich. When I heard 1999, I'm sure a lot of people would be wondering, was I born then? So that's the kind of people, Rich, you're going to address today. So what was it to be a Toastmaster around 1999? And US being the home country for Toastmasters, Toastmasters would have evolved over time. We would come across clubs that are 40 years old and 50 years old. So what is that has grown over the years from the time you have joined Toastmasters? Over to you, Rich.
Oh, thank you, sir. Yes, 1999 seems so long ago. I had joined a club at that time that was about 50 years old back then. And one of the interesting things that I remember is that they were complaining about the same things in 1999 as we complain about now. Like, oh, wow. This program, what are they doing with the Toastmasters program? Back when I started, it was so different. And I liked it so much better. You know, doesn't seem to matter when you start Toastmasters, but when you start Toastmasters is the best time because we don't seem to like change. But I'm going to tell you this. I was one of those potential old Toastmasters who was going to be, no, pathways. I'm not going to deal with pathways. No way. But I realized that if I took that point of view, that I was going to be left behind. And so I thought, well, I can either be left behind or I can lead from the front, which is why I became a pathways guide and really got involved in what pathways was all about. And that way I could be there for the next generation of Toastmasters and not end up being one of those people that holds Toastmasters back. I was lucky enough to still have a lot of those people back in 1999 that were still looking forward, that helped encourage me to move forward in my own Toastmasters career, to take on challenges I hadn't thought about taking on, whether it be competing in a contest or becoming a club officer, and eventually being the type of person who would take on other people and mentor them, coach them, and eventually end up on the world championship stage. The people in Toastmasters, no matter when you join, are the same people from year to year and decade to decade. You have to watch out for those that are still stuck in the past, and you might want to help pull them into the future by getting close together and identifying yourself with those who are continuing to walk towards tomorrow. Sir.
Thank you, DTM Rich. In fact, my next question to you was about pathways, but I'm glad that you addressed it right away. So Okay, we will not touch on pathways for some time, but let's move on to DTM Petra. Petra, when I was introduced to you as part of this panel discussion, I figured out that you are the most enthusiastic. So there's so much to learn from you. So where does this enthusiasm come from? Did it come from Toastmasters, number one, or were you born this way? And how do you spread this enthusiasm to the fellow Toastmasters in your country? Over to you, DTM Petra.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator, Mr. International President-elect, and Madam Nina. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your question about my enthusiasm. Do you think I'm enthusiastic now? Am I? I don't think I got it from Toastmaster. I think it's my DNA. Can you feel it? It's like I was born with it for sure. And I hope I'm not being too loud for you. In any case, I've been addicted to Toastmasters. As in the introduction, I joined Toastmaster in 2001 when Thailand has only 5 clubs. Imagine that. And right now there are about 40 clubs in Thailand. And I'm also a traveler. I travel so much. And I make it a point to visit Toastmasters Club meeting in every country, in every city I travel to. Like lucky, I've been a few times to a few of his 4 Toastmaster clubs that he's a member, and I'm in love with Malaysia. So I love the clubs in Kuala Lumpur, in Malacca, especially in Penang. And from traveling around the world, it helps me see the creativity of Toastmasters. And I would like to second Mr. International President-elect to get out of Toastmaster. When I was Division Thailand governor, my motto was expand your horizon. Don't go to only your club. You have to be loyal. You cannot visit other clubs, cannot become a member of other clubs. And with this boon from, every cloud has a silver lining, such as COVID-19. So because of COVID-19, we can visit any clubs in the world. So why don't we take advantage? And for me, my interpretation of how we do clubs in Toastmaster is we do it with a lot of creativity. It's like Indian curry. You wonder why I raised it up. Indian curry, there are also Thai curry, Japanese curry. We are the same, but we do things differently. Like in Moscow, during the small break, they teach each other how to ballroom dancing, how to tango. Isn't that wonderful? And also there are like gourmet club where they go to different great restaurants. You have to pay in advance though. And also there's a trick and magic club where you go and watch magic. Those are people who are interested in magic. You see, ladies and gentlemen, you are not limited to anything. Toastmasters is allowing you to do a lot of things as long as you keep the evaluation session, the table topics, the prepared speech, and you can do anything you like with all these parameters. So I hope what I'm sharing now might be taken into consideration to create a lot of new kind of Toastmasters meeting. Mr. Moderator.
Thank you, DTM Petra. That was like savoring your tom yum soup. And thank you. Your enthusiasm was so evident. So glad that it is coming from your DNA. Now, let me quickly move on to another gentleman here. This is probably the first time ever I'm talking to a Toastmaster from Pakistan. So close, but yet far away. So thank you, Toastmaster Shawaz, for first accepting our invitation to be a part of panel discussion. Can somebody put on mute? Someone's, yeah, okay, thanks. Toastmaster Shawaz, again, the same question. We are all from the same region, especially Sri Lanka, India, and Pakistan. I'm just hoping that we all have the same way of conducting our meetings. So is there something different that people in Pakistan do compared to other parts of the world when it comes to conducting Toastmasters meetings? Your views on that, Toastmaster Shawaz.
Thank you very much, first of all, for inviting me on this panel discussion. I'm really thankful and humble enough. I was listening to everybody's discussion, and I was much there in the meeting during the session also. That was really fantastic. Yeah, actually, most of the time, as the region is same and the culture is same, the most of the time I have been conducting meeting with the there was an Indian club, DLF online club, and we had a very wonderful combined session, and we have to learn a lot from each other. As I'm the president of Lahore Toastmaster Club, and I'm also the member of Salt Spring, Canada also. So, and I have been visiting Indian club DLF also. So I think it was a gel up of every different culture which I have tasted, and I have learned so many new things from one of the good thing I remember that we with the DLF, that they had a new thing like active listening master. What listening master used to do was to listen to the speeches, to the table topics, to the evaluation, and he used to pick some, one or two things, and he used to ask the audience that, okay, who will tell me that what was this and what was it during this speech. So that was a good, interesting thing, which I have learned also from the different things like photo master, chat master. There are new things you used to learn from each different culture. But overall, I think the culture is same, the region is same. And I think if we conduct these kind of regular meetings with each other, we can bridge the gap, and we can learn so many new things which can help us a lot. I mean, which the speech which I gave in that contest with DLF, I was given a very wonderful evaluation by the DLF evaluator, and that was really adding value to me. So I think we need to understand one thing, that overall Toastmaster is a one platform. We have got a different culture, but if we conduct more meetings with each other, we can learn so many new things and new ventures and new ways to conduct these Toastmaster sessions. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Shawaz. Great. So we will now move to the next panelist, DTM Vasanthi from Singapore. So probably the tiniest country, but which is doing some amazing work across all fields, including Toastmasters. You had a world champion out of Singapore. So DTM Vasanthi, again, the same question to you. How do you do things differently? Because you might have members from across maybe different backgrounds and race and different parts of the world. Maybe things are different, so we would like to hear from you as to what is that you do differently in Singapore.
Good evening. Thank you, Moderator DTM Jayan. Good day to all the distinguished guests and fellow panelists. It's a great opportunity. Thank you for inviting me for the special 800th milestone meeting. As regards the question, I would like to just place on record that the tiny little island of Singapore has over 220 clubs.
Wow. Amazing.
Okay. In real aspects, if I have to elaborate, Singapore is much, much tinier than Chennai city itself. but we do have about 220 clubs. And by whatever geographical location, if you look at Singapore being a place where you have a melting pot of cultures, we are exposed to different ethnicities. So as to say, different backgrounds, and even with one particular race, there are multiple languages. And the way people have their accents is very different. So it's an exposure to a lot of people. And what I like especially about the Toastmasters Club in Singapore is every club has a culture. You know, we go by the protocol, we conduct the meetings the same way like elsewhere in the world, but every club has a very strong culture. And I think that makes it so special. And if you go by the statistics, I would say that many of the Toastmasters here are into multiple clubs, not just one. For example, our district director is into 11 clubs. Can you believe?
Wow.
So so it just gets on to you. Either you become a Toastmaster or you don't become a Toastmaster at all. You know, so you keep growing. And from what I see is that every meeting, there is so much to offer. You learn, you relearn, and you unlearn. And I think that is where the energy comes from, like what DTM Petra said. If you keep on attending more meetings, I find that that will give you the enthusiasm and energy to be back into the same community again and again and again. And especially with this COVID opening up the horizons, we have become a very small group and we are in multiple places at the same time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, DTM Vasanthi. We would love to hear more from each of you, but for want of time, I'm going to quickly jump from one panelist to another panelist. It's late in the day for you and DTM Petra, but the energy levels are exactly the opposite. So that's something that we want to take away from both of you. So I'm not going to get into the gender issue here, but it's still something that all of us will have to definitely take from both of you. So let me move on to the next panelist, Sita. From Sri Lanka. I've always been jealous of Sri Lanka because, again, a tiny nation. I've kept telling people that Toastmasters kind of a religion in Sri Lanka. They take it very seriously, and many things are done in such style that it's very difficult to imitate by other countries. So Sita, you've seen, as a country, you've seen probably 2 international presidents so far, and one world champion, several finalists. I lost count of those. So how do you guys manage this? Right? Finally, you went away from us, sadly, from District 82. We were together, and now you become 82 alone. So you have your special identity. So how do you achieve these things as a country, and what is different that we all can learn from you?
Vanakkam, Ayubovan, and good evening, my dear fellow Toastmasters, and yes, warm greetings from Sri Lanka. I think distinguished Toastmaster Jayan knows more about Toastmasters in Sri Lanka. Like he said, we have been part of District 82 for a very long time, and unfortunately, it became a single district, and District 120 was the newborn baby from last year. What I think that all of us as Toastmasters, we do everything the same way, yet something small, which is different, which be unique. And I know that many of you may recall when we have our ovations and reverberations, the fun nights. Every single fun night in Sri Lanka has that baila competition, the baila dancing, which goes on for hours and hours. Similarly, an installation ceremony is something to celebrate in Sri Lanka. We have it as a gala event. So starting from July to probably till September, October, every single day, probably the district trio and the rest of the district officers as well as members, we end up going to multiple clubs to see how grand they do the installation ceremony. And some Toastmasters club also let us all in very, very high spirits. Now, as you know, high spirits is not only in Toastmasters, but after Toastmasters events as well. What I think unique about our Toastmasters in Sri Lanka, DTM Giant, is that the Toastmasters who have benefited from Toastmasters keep coming back. They don't move out. They don't get out, like the DTM Matt said. We always keep coming back because we want to give something back to the community for what we have got. So I think that is something which I know that many Toastmasters across the world are continuing to do so. And I think Sri Lanka is blessed in that way. You call any finalist a district champion or the district finalist, be it the international president, DTM Balraj, see him at installations giving keynotes, and all new members are able to learn from them. So I think that's the best thing in Toastmasters, as we are always friends helping friends. So back to DTM Jayan.
Thank you so much, Sita, for sharing your views on that. So let me quickly move on to our last panelist. There is a reason why we moved him to the last position, because he's not a guest. He's part of this family. He grew up in this club, and I'm sure that his presence is a must. So there was no invitation sent to him. They sent him the Zoom timeline and the Zoom link to him and said, be there. Now the question is he going to represent UK or India? So I'm going to spare him from representing India. He would have maybe forgotten how Toastmaster meetings happens in India. But we from India would be more keen to know what is that special thing that he has found in UK after moving to UK. So Aditya, so we would love to hear from you, maybe key differences that you have seen, because now that you have experienced both these countries. So what are those in your opinion?
Thanks, Jan, and lovely to be back home today to CTM. Yeah, you're right. I left CTM in 2012, but I was still in India till 2018 in Mumbai, and now in the UK, of course. When I'm hearing everybody speak, and I've been fortunate to have spoken in all of the countries that we have representations today, be it Thailand, Karachi Club in Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Singapore, US. But one of the most interesting experiences, Jen, came when I was in Kenya. I was feeling homesick and I wanted to feel at home. So what do? Look up a Toastmasters club and go there. And when you go there, I was wondering, there's a different feel, different people. Would I feel welcome? And the moment the Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster of the day started with, today's meeting has 3 sections: prepared speech, table topics, evaluation. You feel at home. You can't differentiate whether it's Chennai Toastmasters, Mumbai, London, US, Kenya. So it brings us together. There is more common than different in Toastmasters. With respect to the UK, I think the biggest difference between India and probably the West in general and UK in specific is the demographic differences, which is the average age itself. Because with that comes a lot of advantages and disadvantages, isn't it? In India, it's very easy to mobilize a group of volunteers for a Toastmaster event, for example, because just of the sheer number of people and clubs and the age group, which is probably 27, 28, you find the bell curve peaking at 27 to 30 in India. Here, the average age would be something like 50 or 55. It's difficult to mobilize 50 people to organize a very large event, which also shows up in volunteering in leadership roles. Here, people are looking for a division director, which nobody is ready to raise their hand towards. In India, it will go like wild. These are pressure. You'd never have a dearth of people taking up an area director role or a division director role in India. Here, you have to force people and show them what they have to get in return for them to play a division director role, for example, or an area director role. So there are much more takers in India. Here, people join for slightly different reasons. But there's advantages as well, because there's a big focus on networking here. There's a big focus on community building, not just doing a Toastmaster projects, but focus on like-minded people getting together, sharing things that they enjoy. And people are slightly more relaxed, again, because of the demography, Jane. If you're in your mid-20s, there is all fresh blood. You want to get the DTM, you want to do the 5 parts, you want to become an area director, you want to become the world champion. There's a lot of competition. Here, people are a little more relaxed, sip some wine and just talk about some poetry and Toastmaster speeches. So it's that those are a few changes, differences.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. There are so many takeaways in 3 minutes. I never imagined that I will be collecting so many points from all of you. I'm just going to go over another round. Maybe this time we will keep it shorter. I don't know whether the TMOD is going to give me some more time, but quick, short, maybe I'll call it the rapid fire response from all of you. So back to you, Rich. It's early morning for you. Quickly, from 1999, you've been a Toastmasters, and Pathways was probably a sudden appearance in your journey. And do you think if Toastmasters ever started with the Pathways program way back in 1923, what would be the change that would have happened now?
That would have been interesting for us to start with Pathways, considering nobody had computers back in 1923. But in general, I would say that Pathways is no different from the programs we've had over the years. It may be a little bit more involved, a little bit more diverse in terms of what it allows. I don't know what the 1923 program specifically was. I know in 1999, and then the changes we had when we introduced the leadership manual, that if you look at Pathways, everything that was always there for me is still there, with some new material based on how technology is changing communication. So people oftentimes tell me, well, Pathways just doesn't work the same way the old program did. It's like, no, it doesn't. And not everything in Pathways always works the way we want it. But it's not about necessarily whether we think Pathways works. It's more important how we work Pathways, because we can use Pathways in so many different creative ways to advance our own agenda in terms of our goals, what we want to achieve through Toastmasters, that we don't necessarily have to be held back if we just let ourselves be a little bit more flexible as we go through the program.
Absolutely. I think the first sign of success for any change is resistance. So that's probably is what is happening across. But I've seen people really enjoy doing Pathways because they were doing it for the first time. They really don't know what was prior to that. So I think that's the thing, right? So thank you, Rich, for being part of this panel discussion so early in the morning. So we will move to Petra, DTM Petra. There's one keyword that I picked from your earlier speech was creativity. I'm a huge fan of creativity, and creativity is not easy. And this applies to Toastmasters to a great extent because we often hear this advice that we should get out of the comfort zone. And creativity is one of the tools that we use to get out of that comfort zone. So why did you stress on that? And then did you come across somebody who applied creativity and was able to do wonders?
Oh, yes. Thank you very much. Definitely. I've been a Toastmaster for 20 years. Imagine that. If I go to attend a club meeting with the same old thing over and over again, can you imagine yourself doing it? I don't think so. That's why we have the reverse meeting. You come to the meeting without knowing who is going to do what. And then you pick a slot and you got to know if you become a general evaluator or table topic master. And the meeting starts from the end to the beginning, something like that. And like I told you, there was a club that's called a gourmet club, and we are foodie. We talk about food, and that's just a club for me. And also, Aditya mentioned that we could have a sip of wine since we are meeting on Zoom, and nobody would know if we are drinking water or wine here. So that's also creativity that is being created in this time of struggling. But, you know, great things come out of conflict, come out of struggling and friction, like diamonds. And also, I'd like to mention one or two creativity clubs like storytelling. And this is not in Thailand. I joined Toastmaster club all over the place, in the Middle East. Also, I joined one club in India. I joined 2-3 clubs in America. And this is Orange Upon a Time. It's near Disneyland. And they meet in Barnes and Noble. Do you know what kind of? It's a book shop, and they just had a great time, both challenging for the speakers because all the onlookers, we don't know them, and they are buying books, and we are speaking in front of them, and that's why they can gain a lot of members, because they're meeting in public places like in a bookshop. And also I attended and almost become a member at Singles by the Sea. And you know what that implies too, right? If you're not single, you're not there. So things like that, it makes it interesting. And recently there's a club, online club called Sommelier. Sommelier is wine expert, and they form a club. I was with them for a while, and they are talking about wine, and you know, we can make very good communication using wine as analogy, because wine has aged. As you know, that wine can age. The longer, the older they are, not all of them, but some of them age very well. So these are some of the creativities I would like to mention, and I appreciate it because it is giving me like a spice in your curry. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, DTM Petra. I only now I realized that I should have used your first 3 minutes to list out all the creative things that you have come across in Toastmasters across the world. We would have got a chance to hear more about some of the creative stuff. So thank you so much, DTM Petra. So Shavas, Toastmaster Shavas, I quickly want to understand, because we are from the same cultural belt, like how you mentioned. Most of the youngsters in Pakistan, what instigates them or encourages them to be part of Toastmasters? Is it to improve their career path or shine well in their career? Is that one of the reasons why these youngsters are part of Toastmasters?
Yeah, of course. Here, a youngster in Pakistan always would like to improve their communication, because they want to excel in their career and they want to improve their communication skills. And practically speaking, if I talk about a platform, I think when I came and I joined Toastmaster, the only thing which I liked, and the best thing I like about the Toastmaster, was the positive environment, the positivity which was there in the whole, a club, which I felt immediately when I came there, and when I went there as a guest and as my first meeting which I attended. So I thought that, yes, this is the place where, this is the place for me also, and for the youngster, where they are finding the place, the platform where they don't have the place to speak their heart out and to improve their communication skills. Because here, youngsters, as they are in India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, everywhere, they want to pursue their careers. And for that, communication is the foundational skill which needs to be there in choosing a career and in giving some interview wherever you go. And if you are not good at the communication skill, even during the interview, you will not be better during the career also, after, even if you are selected. So I think improving communication skill is the most primary requirement of a youngster here in Pakistan, and they want to pursue their career. But before that, they want to improve their skills. They want to be confident what they are talking about, what they are delivering, what they are speaking, and mean it. So I think this is the integral and necessity of the youngster here in Pakistan also, as in India and Bangladesh and Sri Lanka also.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Shawaz. So quickly to DTM Vasanthi in Singapore. I was shocked when you told me that there are over 200 plus clubs in this tiny island nation. There is cultural diversity, like how you explained. So how does it impact the way people deliver their projects in clubs? Right? In India, it's easy. In Sri Lanka, it is easy. Likewise, in US, UK, and Pakistan. So how does this cultural diversity impact project delivery? Meaning the kind
Thank
of...
you for that. Yeah, thank you for that question, DTM Jayan. I have observed that many of them try to do in their own native language plus English, which gives them the strength. So sometimes people think in their own native language, and then because they want to improve on their speaking and communication skills in English, they try to improvise on the thought that they have. So many times I have had the opportunity to go and listen to the same speech in multiple languages, I would say.
Okay.
So, and you find a stark difference when they deliver it, because when they speak in their native languages, it's like coming out of a flow where you're so comfortable enough. But when you talk in a language which is not your native, you are very conscious. You're always nervous. So the one thing that I have noticed in Toastmasters clubs in Singapore is that we make it a practice that we have a counter and language evaluator in all our sessions. A way to improve on the speaking skills, especially because many of us do not have English as our language. So that gives also the information that I gave you earlier of how one person is into multiple clubs. You know, they would be speaking Malay, so they will be a member in the Malay club, and they would be in an English club as well. And some of them are into corporate clubs also. But because most of the corporate clubs have lunch-on meetings, which is like a sandwich time that they get, they want to have an elaborate meeting elsewhere in the community. So they go on to the community clubs. So that's one reason that you find more of them being into multiple clubs as well. And like I said, with Mandarin, you have Mandarin clubs, you have Cantonese, Hokkien, there are multiple dialects that come under Chinese language. So you have a specialization in the clubs that they belong to. So they celebrate it together and they feel at home when they have the community coming together and being one Toastmasters club.
Oh, fantastic. So how do they manage to be part of so many clubs? Does the government fund this also?
No.
The membership fee?
Not really, not really. Like I said, but when the buck catches you, it never lets you go. You know, like what DTM Petra says, probably I'm thinking of myself after a decade speaking about this and saying, I have been a Toastmaster for 20 years now.
Right. Absolutely. I think that holds good for all of us, starting from DTM Rich. Thank you so much, DTM Vasanthi. Over to Sita from Sri Lanka. One quick question, Sita, before another 2 minutes for us to wind up. What has changed in D82 after you plugged off from us?
What has changed is, for me especially, is missing Chennai terribly, because I think the last time we were all in Chennai was for 2019 Ovation, and 2020 Ovation was to happen here, and I was expecting all of you to come to Sri Lanka. Unfortunately, COVID came. But I think because of COVID coming, we are able to connect online. Otherwise, it could not have happened. So I see you all, I meet all of you. I invite so many judges for all these contests. So that missing part has reduced a bit because of COVID. So something good that has come out of COVID, I would say, in Toastmasters, where we are able to connect and be a part of meetings, where otherwise I would have had to take a flight from Colombo to Chennai and land at one of your meetings. So apart from that, I think that I'm sure that the friendships that we have built over the years will definitely continue, because every time I come to Chennai, I think I've been to Chennai so many times in the last several years. Only in these last couple of years, because of COVID, I have not been able to come. I tell my Toastmasters friends, now that the country is open, we are waiting to come and visit. So that friendship will definitely continue, Jayan. But definitely we miss that difference, maybe the not so much of a cultural difference, but something that where we could learn from other Toastmasters. You have produced so many wonderful humorous speaking champions, I would say. So I miss that. So every opportunity that I get to join a humorous speech contest, I make sure I join in and listen. So once all of you are going in person, we'll have to come in person to meet that. But definitely District 82 misses Chennai and Tamil Nadu on the whole. Back to you, Jayan.
Fantastic. And I'm sure you would miss sari shopping in Tinagar as well. So that's another thing I'm sure you all will be missing. Thank you so much, Sita. And finally, Aditya, a quick word of advice to CTM and the rest of us in India. I think you're on mute.
I mean, if a club has managed to reach 800 meetings, Jan, I don't think the club needs any advice. It's doing everything right. Well, yeah, I mean, just as individuals, as Rich rightly said, as individuals need to change with time. It happens at different levels of aggregation. Clubs need to change with time. Districts need to change with time. Toastmasters needs to change with time, right? It's at every level. So as I keep saying, a milestone always tells you not how much you've traveled, how much more there is to travel. That's what the sign in the milestone is, always futuristic, never the past. So, and that's my advice to CTM: keep reinventing, preserve the legacy, but always be light and fresh and agile and nimble to adopt and adapt to everything that's changing. There will be a point where the generation of Toastmasters who have that lived experience of CTM's past legacy may have retired, and everybody, like the ship of Theseus example, everybody currently, there will be a time where people are not that attached to the past. At that point, have we reinvented CTM enough that there is so much ammunition for the future, not just the carry forward of the past? So I would just say whatever Rich said at an individual Toastmaster level, I would echo that at a CTM level. However, as I said, 800 meetings, not simple. It's my home club. Everything I am today is hugely because of CTM. So I hope to be there in person soon and meet all of you. Back to you, Jay.
Hey, thanks so much, Aditya. That was a wonderful closure to this panel discussion. For want of time, again, I'm going to reduce my thank you note. Thank you so much, all of you, for taking time to be a part of this panel discussion. Over to the Toastmasters of the day. Thank you.
Thank you. That was indeed a super energetic panel. From hearing about Toastmasters in 1999, when most of us were in school or college, or about the comparison between the Indian curry and the Thai curry, we realize that across the globe, we all stand united with a deep sense of belonging of being a Toastmaster. This discussion has been very insightful to us to think in the lines of bringing an international outlook to our meetings going forward. Thank you to our moderator, Distinguished Toastmaster Jayan, and to each of our panelists, from Distinguished Toastmaster Rich, Distinguished Toastmaster Petra, Distinguished Toastmaster Sita, Distinguished Toastmaster Vasanthi, Toastmaster Shavaz, and our Distinguished Toastmaster Aditya, for the great discussion and also for making it to the meeting despite the timing differences across the globe. Also, I would like to specially thank Toastmaster Shavaz Baluch. When we initially contacted Toastmaster Shavaz for the first time, he wrote back on his intro that he is the first blind Toastmaster president with a vision. Dear Toastmaster Shavaz, the Toastmaster fraternity is very proud of you, sir. Thank you for being here. With this, let me hand over to Toastmaster Jimmy.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Abhirami. Don't every one of us feel that one essential ingredient is missing in the milestone meeting? Let me tell you, it is Distinguished Toastmaster Abraham Zakaria. So he is in travel from Delhi to Chennai. He is not yet in our radars. So we just want to express that we fondly want to mention you here, and we miss you here in the 800th milestone meeting. So Distinguished Toastmaster Abraham Zakaria, he's the present District Finance Manager, former parliamentarian of District 120. He has held various responsibilities at different levels from club to district. He is our mentor and the go-to DTM for CTM. With that note, Abhirami, what are those two famous words that people use to express gratitude? I was just trying to recollect.
I sing thank you.
Yes, the word is thank you. So to express the vote of thanks, let me invite our Toastmaster Srikanth Kutikrishnan. Toastmaster Srikanth Kutikrishnan works with Indian Railways. He has been a mentor, a counselor for the Cavaliers Club. Over to you, Toastmaster Srikanth Kutikrishnan.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much. It's a great honor and a privilege, as well as a pleasure for me, for having given me this opportunity by the ExCom to propose a word of thanks. I would rather say it is not a word of thanks, it is a note of thanks, a note of gratitude from the bottom of my heart. So from all of the CTM members and all of you who are present here, we are very thankful and very grateful to each and every one of you who have been here, who have graced the occasion and had found the time across different time zones to be a part of this milestone meeting. I would like to thank our chief guest, President-elect, distinguished Toastmaster Matt Kinsey. Sir, when you said get out of Toastmasters, I was really pinching myself to understand what you were up to. But I got the crux of your message when you said Toastmasters is not about what we get and how we become, but rather what we give back to the society as a whole, and to make this place a better living place for each and every one of us. That really moved me, and sure, it's a word that's going to be with us for a very long time. And we thank you for your time, and we wish you all the very best as you take over the mantle of being the Toastmaster International's next president. We wish you and your family all the very best. Thank you, sir, once again for being with us. Our keynote speaker, as you have probably heard, is a person who is being looked upon during monsoons in Tamil Nadu and the rest of South India, and in Chennai in particular, especially when we pray with our fingers crossed, with prayer in our lips, what Mr. Ramanan, Dr. R.S. Ramanan would say about the rain forecast, whether it's going to pour cats and dogs, not for the rain, but the schools would close down. So thank you, sir, for making it to this event. It was so wonderful and a lot of information for a layman like me to get from you about what climate weather is and what forecasting is all about. You were spot on your predictions, and you were very humble and modest to tell us that it was not your prediction, but the department. I can relate that being a central government employee, we give the credit to the government to whom we serve, and the people are our masters. Thank you very much, sir, for being with us once again. We look forward to hear from you, and we want to hear more about your predictions so that we can be aware what the country is heading towards and also how the forecast is going to be. And for our trio, though our district director, a very interesting gentleman, Toastmaster Satish Menon, could not be with us personally, but I thank him for his congratulatory message. I would also like to thank our quality director, DTM Aarti Jairaj, who spoke to us about a beautiful story of divine intervention where a long pant had to become short. And the crux of that message, what you gave us, madam, was that love, when it starts pouring, it pours in tons and tons. The short pant was a lesson for all of us to do our duty to the people that we care and that we love. Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster. Our club growth director, DTM Gayatri, you were generous to tell us that CTM is the reason behind Toastmasters has happened in Tamil Nadu. Yes, we are proud of that honor that you have bestowed us, that we are the lighthouse club for the entire South India and across different states in India. Our division director, Toastmaster Nadira Fayez, thank you so much in spite of your busy schedule. ensuring smiles on everybody's face, being a protodontist and a dentist. You have been very modest to let us know that the moments of joy and happiness that you had with CTM. We wish you all the very best, a very promising person. Thank you so much. I also appreciate your time and the effort that you have taken to be with us in spite of this busy schedule where contests and speeches are being looked upon to be delivered by you. Area Director Toastmaster Adil, thank you very much for being with us. I always remember competing with you and always you took the honors. I really cherish that, and also for telling us what you have done for the club and what the club has given back to you. That's a sign of modesty. Thank you very much for that. And also, let me take this opportunity to show my gratitude to distinguished Toastmaster Jayan Narayanan. We share the same state, Kerala. I happened to be there once in a district called Cannanore to attend a club's meeting, and this distinguished Toastmaster was there. I hope you remember those days. Thank you very much. You have been with us for the 700th meeting, and now here you are with us for the 800th. I'm sure this can be an advanced invitation to you that you be with us for our 900th as well as the 1000th meeting. Thank you so much for conducting a wonderful panel discussion. You are always known for your thought-provoking and tongue-in-cheek questions. You have done that. Thank you very much. The panelists, you are held at very high esteem by each and every one of us here in CTM. DTM Rich Hopkins, taking challenges and telling us what are the advantages of pathways, really opened our mind. Not only that, you told us the flexibility of pathways, how we can mend and bend the pathways to make it to our advantage. It's something that I look forward. I am going to start working on that right after this meeting is over. DTM Petra from Thailand. It's a beautiful country. I've seen a lot of pictures on YouTube about Thailand. A beautiful, picturesque country. Thank you, madam, for being with us. And your enthusiasm and your charisma has really taken all of us by surprise. And you were modest to tell us it is there in your DNA. Thank you very much. And also for reminding us how Toastmasters and the Indian curry can blend and be to a great taste. I really want to enjoy your Thailand curry. God willing, I should be coming there if time permits. Thank you very much, ma'am. Our neighbor from Pakistan, distinguished Toastmaster Shawaz Baloch. Though we share our cultures, our habits, you have reminded us just by knowing that the culture is the same doesn't help any one of us, but we need to have more joint meetings so that we can take this, our bonding and friendship, to the next level. DTM Vasanthi ma'am from Singapore, beautiful nation. I really pinch myself in a small island nation, a state having 220 clubs and growing. And what a honor it is that you were able to have multilingual clubs where you have not forgotten the native language and the English-speaking community, how they blend and bring about a tremendous change, and also how things can be better for each and every one of us, not holding us back, not knowing a language which is alien to us. Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Vasanthi. DTM Sita, Madam Sita from Sri Lanka. Grand events and celebrations is what you look about and what happens in Sri Lanka from July to September. It's a wonderful story that you have told us, how cultures can mend and how you share a very common interest with the clubs across Tamil Nadu and in South India. Not but the least, our very own distinguished Toastmaster, Aditya Maheshwaran, a world champion. You have been with us right from the day one. and you have seen the club grow, and you have always carried, you've been literally a torch bearer for CTM across the clubs and the countries that you have visited. Though you stay across in London, we still take you to be with us every single meeting that we happen to have in person or online. You are always with us, and you have been a tremendous source of inspiration for all of those new Toastmasters who have signed up and emulate you to become a person just like you, both in spirit and in letter. Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Aditya Maheshwaran. I would also like to thank the entire ExCom today, the prepared speeches about different aspects, takeaways were there from 3 different speakers. One was the importance spoken by distinguished Toastmaster Venu Neelagandan. Don't drink and drive, wear your helmet. And also, I would like to have our Toastmaster Nagendra Bharanthi, who shared a common interest that most of the married men would be having when they take their spouse out for shopping. A mix and match in colors is always something to dread about when you go shopping with your spouse. I'm not making light of it, but it's something that most of us have experienced. Madam Reika,
Shrikant, in the interest of time, just
yes,
moving on to the
yes, winding
closure.
up, I would like to thank Toastmaster Reika also for showing what a hero is in each and every one of us. I would also like to thank each and every role player. I would like to thank the Toastmaster of the day. I would like to thank our president, who had been very generous when he came up with the idea of having me as the speaker to propose a vote of thanks. I thank you, each and every one of us. Due to time constraint, I would like to reiterate what our president-elect said, that Toastmaster is all about serving and service. You would remember what the Quakers would say at every Sunday morning service. The service begins when the meeting is over. This meeting is about to get over. Thank you very much. God bless you all. Good night. Namaste. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Shrikant. Thank you so much for expressing the gratitude on behalf of all of us at CTM. Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time to hand over to the presiding officer. Thank you very much for being a wonderful audience. It was indeed a great pleasure hosting you all.
Yes, this milestone is not an end, but an ongoing journey. Looking forward to celebrate the next meeting milestone with you all. Until then, signing off, Toastmaster Abhirami
and Toastmaster Jimmy Patros. Over to you, presiding officer.
Thank you so much, Toastmasters of the day, Toastmaster Abhirami and Toastmaster Jimmy, for having taken us through this wonderful celebration of our 800th milestone. As they say, it is not the destination that is important, but the journey itself. And the fact that we have been here for 800 milestones speaks volumes of the kind of club and community that we have nurtured. But as they say, all happy things must come to an end. It is this milestone today that comes to an end. Not our journey, but just one aspect of our journey, which we now put behind and look forward as we go on. On that note, let me declare meeting number 800 of Chennai Toastmasters Club as closed. But before that, let me just take a couple of minutes of your time to quickly thank my ExCom members who have been instrumental in delivering this successful milestone. Toastmaster Abhirami, our Vice President Education, from coordinating the agenda to ensuring that all events are finalized and went without a glitch. Thank you. Our Vice President Membership, Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayana, by ensuring that the invites were sent out to all our dignitaries and our guests today and following up with them. Thank you. Well done. Our PR man for the event, our VP PR, Toastmaster Deepak, in releasing those wonderful promotional videos and posters. Congratulations on a job well done. Our Secretary, Toastmaster Naveen, for taking up the behind the scene logistics along with our SAA Toastmaster Tarun. both of you did a brilliant job on the behind the scenes. Thank you. And our treasurer, Toastmaster Srijit, once again, thank you for being there and ensuring that all our funds and requests were cleared appropriately. Thank you, XCOM, for delivering such a wonderful milestone. And on that note, let us all now quickly switch on our cameras and pose for a happy group photo before we all call it a day. Requesting everyone to please quickly switch on your cameras.
Is everyone ready? Yeah. Cheers. Just one more time. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for patience. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much. Let us now close the meeting and proceed to an informal session.